Good morning. It is Monday, November 17th, 8:30 a.m., and we are here for interim county administrator update with Tom Gain.
Good morning, commissioners. And during my update, we always do the clerk of the board update. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with that with Caitlin.
Barb had asked me to follow up with Kevin and Cindy for your timeout pizza orders for the PUD lunch. You've had a chance to look at the menu or know what you want.
They want the buffet.
Yeah, when is that, next week?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, I thought
Tomorrow?
Wait,
I'll just do buffet.
I thought we were supposed to go to the,
No, it's on November 25th.
okay, because I'm like, I thought we were going
that is
to.
tomorrow.
It's not until the 25th. It's next week.
You should go because they bring their county administrator, theirs.
Good morning. Well, I will tell you this. I don't want to go. I am going to be communicating with the PUD this week, though, and depending on how that goes, I will be asking you at your luncheon to have a very one-way conversation with the PUD commissioners about the lack of help on the roundabout, that we stopped in the middle of design and redesigned at their request, and now they're crickets about helping us with it. So, and we did redesign and redo part of that roundabout to meet their requirements, and I can't get an answer out of them as to whether or not they're going to help us. So if I don't get an answer from them this week, I will ask you guys to bring that up, because I don't know how much of that information is actually getting to the board. So
I guess we'll find out.
we'll find out.
They always make public comment during their meetings.
I can, or like I did today. So what else you got, Caitlin?
There's the emergency management email for the food control drill. It's supposed to be on December 17th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the EOC. Emergency management is wondering who, if any of you, will be attending that.
Done it 3 times. I don't want to do it again.
I think it's the new guy.
What's the question?
The emergency management they're having a food control drill. It's a simulated radiological incident exercise for the Columbia Generating Station.
So that basically the idea is if Hanford was to
A tabletop exercise.
the cloud over Grant County, you basically would be part of the command team.
Okay, what date is this?
December 17th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I don't know what day of the week that is. It's a Wednesday.
And where's it at?
In the
It's
EOC. Here.
Okay.
EOC.
I can do it, I don't care.
Does anybody know if the PUD takes part in that?
Yeah, they do.
Let's say, considering
There's a
they're
lot of different people that are in there.
thinking about small modular nuclear and all that, they would want to.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's literally just what roads are gonna be shut down, what departments get involved, how big the radius is, depends on who gets involved.
Department of Energy, and they used to fax every, like, okay, the plume has moved here, so
Yeah.
you've got to set up a school that you can contact the schools that you could use that.
And the commissioner's just there to approve if funding gets crazy. Other than that, you just sit there the whole meeting, eat a sandwich, and sit there some more. So
Pretty much.
it's a long time sitting there not being involved in
Sometimes they
anything.
will speed it up a little bit, but
Well,
They got a full staff, they don't do that.
yeah, as per our procurement policy, I mean, either I or Kevin could be a part of that, Kevin Schmidt, because in an emergency, we can write the emergency documentation and approve the spending if we had to. It doesn't actually have to be a commissioner that's there but it's just something to think
well,
about.
sometimes we'll have to rent a large piece of equipment
Yeah.
to.
And it's about contacts.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, if there was a plume over that area, District 3 commissioner would probably be the active person. They're gonna have a lot more contacts than you.
Yeah, it's true.
So that was pretty much the majority of it, is how do you need to get a hold of so-and-so, or this person, or this facility.
That makes sense.
I have Kevin attending. Cindy, did you want to attend?
I've probably done more than 4 of them as Rob. I'll let Kevin do this one. It is a good thing to sit through.
Yeah, and going down
So
there,
now you're gonna talk it up. Well,
no, dude,
No,
it's,
It is
it's
an
a good
exciting
thing to
day,
sit
Kevin.
through, but kind of like once you've done one, you're like, hey, I mean,
you get a
it's-
sandwich and a cookie, though.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it worth it then.
No, I've done that one. I've done the one in Richland that you're like on site for the disaster. And they're good to go to once.
You gotta get one under your belt, because they don't have them all the time.
I've
Yeah,
been
this
a
one
part of
yearly.
nuclear teams
Okay.
before. I don't need to.
But probably the best training, if ever, it was like bomb emergency management, like if there was a bomb or something, somebody left a package. Now, that was extremely entertaining, or, it was just a good that, you know how many people will touch a package and sniff it or touch it and then lick? They're like, don't sniff, don't lick, as is, like, something's oozing, I'm like. it
Not a
happens.
scratch and sniff. So,
Yeah, that was
Interesting.
actually pretty good.
what else do you have, Caitlin?
That was it. I need your guys' timeout pizza orders for the PUD luncheon.
I'll just do the buffet.
Same here.
Okay,
Make
Okay.
it easy.
perfect.
All
Wings
right.
and
Follow there.
beans.
That's what I like.
Okay, thank you, Caitlin. Brandon Guernsey, our prosecuting attorney, requested last week to get some time with the board, so I'll go ahead and let you come on up.
Morning.
Do we need to
Good
go to an
morning.
executive session?
We do, requesting an executive session for potential litigation purposes with your legal counsel.
Do you know how long?
Oh, yeah, we could probably do, let's start with like 7 minutes. Can we, is that a weird number? I don't want to sit here and awkward, but, I mean, we could try 5, and if we need to go
Well,
longer.
let's go
then we
7,
can.
and then we'll.
All right, so we're going to go into executive session beginning at 8:37, coming out at 8:44 for litigation, RCW 42.30.1101I.
Are you?
It is 8:44, we are out of executive session, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move that we waive the attorney-client privilege so that Kevin McCray can write a declaration.
I'll second that.
Motion a second, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Anything else
That's all
for
I
you,
have
Mr.
for-
Guernsey?
That's all I have for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
How's the rest of your day look? If you wanted to get together and go over budget?
Meeting- I do want
Yeah.
to. I have a meeting here, I think at like 1:30 or something for a PMR.
Okay.
Is it here?
Probably.
But other than that, I'm pretty open. So
At 11.
this morning already, 11?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah, 11.
we'll see you
Cool.
shortly.
so
Yeah.
after that.
All right.
Sometime before 3 though.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll find you.
Thanks. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've done the clerk of the board update and had an opportunity to speak with our prosecuting attorney. So as I go through my update, what time am I done? 9 or 9:30?
9:30.
9:30.
9:30, okay. Some of this is catching up. We hadn't had an update in 2 weeks due to the budget meetings. So some of this may be redundant. I've tried to go through it. I've been speaking with department heads. But to this end, I'm going to change up how my updates are performed a little bit. So the Corps is helping me experiment with something where I can have all of the department heads put their inputs in, just like they have been to me each week. But they're going to automatically be generated into a single file and sent to the 3 of you either on a Wednesday night or a Thursday morning as a single file. Now, I can tell you that as I've received these department head updates, they're about total, when I combine them all, between 2 and 5 pages. So it's not a really lengthy read. But what that does is it ensures 2 things. I don't want, because of the way that meetings have been held, and this is the first time that we've had a county administrator I don't want the feeling of a connection between the board and department heads to fall. I want it to be maintained at a certain level. It's going to be, difficult as we continue down this path if we keep a CA, and if that CA is me or may not be, whatever it ends up being in January. But it also ensures that I don't gloss over some critical note that I might not realize was critical. A lot of the updates I get have got acronyms and short blurbs about meetings with state agencies or some crime victims thing. And I'm fearful that I'll just go right through an update and you guys will miss it, so because of the way that I presented it. So the second thing that it provides, though, is the opportunity during my morning updates then to do several things. You can ask me for more information on some point or note from a department head that I can follow up on. Maybe there's something you're like, hey, we need more information on that, or that doesn't make sense. You can ask to schedule a meeting with a department head on some note that has your interest. These can be held either on Tuesday afternoons, which are freed up. And that keeps it timely. And the meeting can be scheduled at a later time if you want, or it can be an individual meeting. We just have to be careful not to create an illegal meeting. And it allows you to stay engaged as you desire with each department head. But that way you get the words as put out by the department heads, because they send me sometimes paragraphs and I'm summarizing them, and I want to make sure that you're getting all of the correct information. So it's asking the board to take 15, 20 minutes to read through a document that's got updates from your department heads, but it gives you an opportunity to see me then that following Monday morning and say, hey, let's follow up on this. Let's not do that. And if there isn't a lot of follow-up from the board, it provides me more opportunity to talk about upcoming legislation and the other things and the leadership and all the other things that are being done in the county. Because otherwise, every Monday, I'm just going through these department head updates, and some of it's good, some of it's not good, but it takes up all the time. So if that makes sense to the three of you, that's what the plan is going to be. To discuss the jail, the roundabout is going to get shut down again as the Department of Transportation is wanting to perform some work. They are paying for the work, but it will require a shutdown. I'll coordinate with the DOT and likely provide messaging to the public prior to the shutdown. We still have to install the permanent lighting sometime in January when it shows up. They're pretty unhappy with, I wouldn't say unhappy. They don't like the base course that's been put on the shoulders around the roundabout. People continue to drive into the shoulders and track that into the traffic lanes, and the rocks are getting up hitting people. So they're going to change that to some type of angular rock. Now, this was their design. As we put in drawings, their engineering teams looked at it. They made the recommendations for what to use. So everything we did out there was based on their recommendations. That's why all of the changes coming up are all being paid for by the DOT, not by us. They're also moving the signs that are in the roundabout, for the one-way signs and the directional signs, because trucks keep running them over. So they're going to move. They're using our contractor, and that's why we're involved. Hearst was the contractor of record, and it's been very easy for them to work through them and use Leidig. So we're working on how that billing is going to look, but the DOT is paying for all of that work. We did select contract design. And one last thing, the shutdowns they are doing, we are working with the city and the school district to do it on days. It's probably going to be like on Christmas Eve, or I think they're looking at the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. The day before Thanksgiving, not Black Friday, because they want the roundabout open for Black Friday.
I was gonna say that would be a bad idea.
But some of that is dependent on weather and if the DOT gets their information to Hearst in time. So just a heads up that that's all going on. We did a competitive selection for the furniture, fixtures, and equipment package on the jail. We did select Contract Design Associates. They've been a good partner to the county for about 9 years, and they did provide the best price. It was good to see them win that competitive solicitation. They did a pretty good presentation. It wasn't just Herman Miller stuff like you see throughout the courthouse. It was a mix of various furniture manufacturers, all based on state contracted pricing. And they're going to be easy to work with. So it was a really good presentation. Moving on to the coroner's office, we're still moving forward there. We've gone through another iteration of design. We'll be having a meeting. The pre-application for permits for the city of Moses Lake. That request is being filled out by Leidig now and should go in the next couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and we'll sit down with the city to do a pre-application meeting for them. They do need to raise the site a little bit. They need to raise the whole building pad about 8 to 12 inches or 14 inches. Looking for fill. I did talk to Public Works about that. We can use the fill that we took off the jail site. It's over at Neva Lake. So it won't cost us anything for that fill. Public Works is even willing to free up the trucks and the drivers to bring that fill over so that it's not part of the contract. Well, I'll have to pay Public Works, but and they're integrated in the project. So if they can help, they're willing to help.
We don't have any fill from removing the track at the fairgrounds?
It's not the same kind of fill.
Okay.
So the fill from the jail is excellent
Okay.
fill. It really is good fill. So if we could use what was out at the fairgrounds, we certainly would.
Okay.
Moving to solid waste. So 90% remediation build-out drawings received for review. And they have a contract with Strata, the water monitoring, also for review. They completed phase 4 and they're awaiting the Department of Energy and Health Department's or Ecology approval to begin refuse garbage placement. Their MPE system expansion drawing was reviewed. The rate study is finished and they're pending the consultant's meeting on that. They don't really have any challenges or risks that they've noted, and they're waiting for the PA's office to finish the review of the Strata agreement. They did get their remediation drawing reviews to parametrics with no comments on the plans, but they did comment and they're going to make a few changes to the contract example that goes out with the bid documents. So, and both of their CAT compactors are now operational, so they must have gotten that differential fixed. The concrete work is ongoing at West Shore, Stratford Road. Should have been completed last week, if not the week before. They have removed about 60 feet of racetrack, and they're continuing to remove some of that as they can. And the Drumheller Road work is underway, and future work is dependent on funding and weather. I did receive a call from a gentleman on the west side, a 96-year-old man that owns a chunk of land that Drumheller goes right through. He thought it was being paved, wanted information on it. He does not have a cell phone, but I did leave him 2 messages to let him know that they were continuing that work. And the road to the north was in pretty poor shape, but the road to the south of his property was in great shape. But it was, the plan was for it to be a county road, but there was no estimated time for completion. So, to go all the way through. I don't know that I'll get a call back from the gentleman or not. No other major risks explicitly specified over the past couple of weeks. They are not waiting for any decisions from the board. And they're trying to do everything they can for Stratford Road and get it, figure out a plan for maintaining it through the winter.
It's currently open.
Yeah.
Call from somebody that
Good.
was happy that it's
Good.
open.
Good.
But is it paved? It's not paved, is it?
No,
Okay.
no, and paving's problem. So the plant closes, I think, next week. The water infiltration at Wheeler Road caused a significant enough delay that we can't pave that. So people can park there now. We've got the swale marked where it's going to go. We're stuck. That we couldn't get everything done with the city of Moses Lake and the engineering of that. The geogrid is down. The ground is very hard, but we had so much water that it was actually pooling on top. It didn't have any place to drain. So
Wait, I thought we were talking about Stratford, sorry.
No,
Stratford paved.
Oh, no, Stratford is not paved. Probably
it
will not
will
be
not be
paved
paved.
until,
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
Sorry, okay.
I was just speaking of pavement in general. So we have 2 areas
Okay,
in the county that we're responsible for that didn't get paved, Stratford and the Wheeler Road parking
yeah,
lot.
I knew about the Wheeler, okay.
Yeah. Risk management, insurance allocation reviews, and in the budget are continuing. I'm continuing to work with Blair also to assign insured property and vehicles to the correct departments. They're keeping an eye on Senate Bill 5491 and House Bill 1842. Those are both insurance pool operations and how it might change pool operations for the county. He is still working on setting up a driving program, and his Excel worksheets for vehicle insurance is nearly done. And obviously, we sent that letter to WCRG. We'll be meeting with them on Tuesday. they immediately contacted Blair and said they're gonna, do everything they can to try and reduce our insurance rates below that 14%. We'll see if they're able to come through. I don't know that they will or not, but we'll hope so. Public defense. So they did have a new attorney start. An offer has been made also to convert a part-time contractor to a full-time staff attorney. Have not heard if that went through. His contract negotiations are ongoing through 2026, and he's still adjusting to new statewide indigent defense standards. The Supreme Court order clarified in June, the order they had in June, they have sent out some messaging about that, but he didn't articulate what that was. I feel after what I received from him, the long form that I got from him, I need to catch up with him. Feels like there's a lack of county level direction or information on contract negotiations, and his decisions are having to be made independently on some of his contracts. He's working to negotiate and renew contracts in 2026, but he's also trying to make sense of the budget process and reconcile some of the issues between what public defense has and what accounting has. He feels like he's still dealing with the evolving climate, both in county procedures and statewide with the standards of indigent defense, and feels like he's working under pressure to make decisions regarding expiring contracts. So I'm going to get with him to better understand what some of the stressors are and find out where he's at and where we can help. And if there is an outstanding decision he's not getting. I know he was waiting for the PAO's office to overlook some of the issues he was having with remote attorneys and that kind of thing. So I'll have to follow up and see if he's gotten anywhere from that or if it's been delayed. With development services, their bi-monthly update with the VOCC topics included the October monthly permit statistics and revenues. And of course, I think their public works is this week, and you've got right after me, and then next week you've got development services. They have their ongoing periodic comprehensive plan update meetings with Aspect. They did have a notice of a draft of the non-significant. I'm going to screw up the wording. A determination of non-significance was issued Wednesday, and they're in their 30-day public comment period for scoping. A lot of the stuff that's on here they talked about, he sent me an update, but a lot of it is already passed or you're already aware of it. They had a WDFW meeting on land acquisitions and shrub step mitigation that did occur. And they did have their energy and data center overlay meeting for the Mid-Sea area of the Mattawa and Priest Rapids. So they made an offer, and Derek Beach was hired as the deputy fire marshal candidate. And they're done with the voluntary stewardship program quarterly marketing or quarterly meeting to discuss and vote on VSP projects. They're continuing to work on a comprehensive plan. They did the challenges, the appeal of the development agreement for QV Solar. They did file to dismiss that based on the fact that they did not notify the auditor and all of the attorneys they were supposed to notify. And it doesn't sound like I asked as well. As soon as they approve that motion to dismiss the case, aren't they going to just turn around then and re-serve everybody? But they have to do a specific appeal for that, and it had to be done with a certain number of days, and that time has already passed. So it sounds like once that is dismissed, it's going to be dismissed. So we'll see what happens after that.
I have a quick question. Dennis Beach, isn't he the biologist that used to review the land for shrub step?
Derek, that's Dennis Beach. This is Derek Beach.
Oh, Derek. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
Okay, thank you for.
Currently worked at City of Moses Lake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Is there something there you want me to follow up on? Or? Okay, all right. I know that during the budget meetings, one of the big deals for Jim Cook was the establishment of Fund 170 for the mitigation funds. I know that we talked about that. I need to follow up with Mandy and see if, in fact, in the budget she is creating that.
Is that for
fund.
shrub step?
It's for the mitigation fund. Yes. So. I'm going going to move on to facilities and maintenance. So the Wheeler Road parking lot, just talked to you about. We have staff changes underway. One of our maintenance fours decided to give us notice. So we're going to be recruiting for either a maintenance four. We're discussing what we're going to do there. So we had a maintenance four that was fairly new, but he got offered a ton of money at one of these startups out at Moses Lake. So I won't say any more about that. Fairgrounds, we're working on closing things up and putting them away. Chris will have a flatbed truck out there to accept all the scrap metal to clean up the boneyard. He's also taking a long leave and long vacation in December, and he's going to be traveling around Mexico for about 3 weeks. So good for him. He needs the time off. He is working with Kevin to ensure that there's plenty for the maintenance crews to do in his absence. The winterizing is complete and the event schedule is light through January. This weekend they had the Moses Lake Farmers Market and that went well. There wasn't a whole lot going on at the grounds. Jim is still dealing with a few personnel matters, but he's working through it with HR. He did submit, I think it's on consent this week, a request to surplus the milking parlor equipment as well as a Massey Ferguson tractor. And he is working with Blair to identify pieces of equipment on the insurance list that can be removed. He has given that to Blair. And also in Blair's breakdowns of insurance and how things are being allocated to departments, he was curious as to the risk level that was being levied against the fairgrounds. So in his new risk matrix, which I think he's working with Shane, it looks like it will be implemented. It's actually dropping the risk level at the fairgrounds and it's dropping the insurance premiums out there by quite a bit. So we should see some help out there if this comes through fruition. Yeah. Yeah. This Friday, I have a meeting, my initial kickoff meeting with Merchant McIntyre, the federal lobbyist and grant writer. So we're going to come up with a schedule and a date and a time to start meeting with every department head. So that should be the kickoff meeting will be this Friday. And then I'd imagine over the next couple of weeks between now and the first week of December, second week of December, they will have met with all of the various department heads and they'll be working on a federal funding action plan for us. And we'll start to see what kind of funds are available and what projects we can affect, grants that maybe we weren't aware of or that can be bolstered. So I'm really expecting to see good things for Public Works, for possibly for Development Services, for Susie Fody at New Hope and for Renew. So I think there's just a ton of opportunity out there and we'll see what happens, especially if we can do these direct and not have to deal with the state as a middleman. That's what I'm really looking forward to. Lots of people still having challenges with the Tyler accounting system. I have to follow up with Mandy about some information that's a conversation that was had between one of her employees and one of my employees that I'm unhappy about. And for New Hope Kids Hope, the same nurse instruction was provided at Samaritan Hospital. Did you guys see the email that we received back from Teresa? I sent it to you and said this is for discussion. It's the contract that we're signing for the payment for the morgue services and all that stuff. I'm gonna send her a note. I think the way it was, so they sent a draft agreement for the payment of those coroner's fees. I provided it to Trevor for him to look at. He changed it up a bit. I think it's well written. I don't think it's in any way creating any animosity, but I think she took it quite personally. So I don't want to see a relationship hurt between us and the hospital at all. And I'm going to drop her a note and say, this was, in my view, this was the contractor's responsibility to meet the requirements of the GCCM process, which they absolutely did not do. And furthermore, with the emails and the things that we saw go back and forth outside of the hospital, it could have been anybody on the staff, anybody on the project team. I don't think it was Teresa personally, so I don't want to see that relationship get harmed. But anyway, so I'm going to send her a note back and just kind of express that.
So just to clarify, Randy, we were gonna put the morgue connected to the hospital, so there were some fees that the county needs to pay for some architectural engineering.
They fronted all the fees for design and engineering services,
They being,
the hospital. Yeah, so, but we were working on an interlocal agreement between our PAO's office and their attorney. They couldn't come up with the right language, but we couldn't wait for them to come up with the right language, and we continued forward. Well, that meant that the hospital was incurring fees. And unfortunately, the GCCM process, typically like the jail, it works, that's like the model for the best way it could possibly work.
Yeah,
The opposite of that was the coroner's office.
There
where
was no subject.
We said, this is our budget, we can't go over, we have to maintain this, and they couldn't meet our requirements, and we ended up having to walk away. So, but they incurred these fees. And it's like, well,
right, okay.
we're willing to meet you halfway, so, anyway. So that's what that's about. Back to New Hope. Stop grant applications for Grant and Adams County are in progress. And I think they have a certified handler for B, Assistant Dogs Northwest. Their priorities are legal and community advocate interviews, November 14th. I'm assuming that happened. Stop grant deadline, November 13th. And I have not followed up with Susie on those items. I need to give her a call. She has a contract approval anticipated for victim services. BOCC will be needed on that. And she is, from a legislative standpoint, participating in statewide advocacy for OCVA funding package of $21.3 million. And she's monitoring the 9th and 13th district for legislative visits. So outside of that, that's most of my update. I do have something I'd like to talk about in executive session. This is personnel review and discipline. If we can take.
Prior to going into there, can I just,
Yes.
the RFP, I will go ahead and forward you the email from our meeting that we had November 12th. For the regional diversion program, they're asking for $250,000 to do the $1 million opioid, and that can come out of the total is $1 million. So Grant County would be $250,000 opioid abatement fund. And this would be to look at the regional diversion program and kind of, anyway, there's more information on there.
Yeah, if you could forward that to me, that'd
And
be
They're
great.
getting $1 million to look at.
to do the RFP to see what, it may look like Grant County would be the place. It may look like Chelan or Douglas would be.
So the RFP is to select a consultant to find a location for that diversion program, and they expect the costs of that to be upwards of $1 million.
Yep. So divide
So-
it by 4. And then they would, I believe there was a discussion, if you're kind of based on population, so if Okanagan doesn't have a big user, their
It's
portion,
gonna
not of
land
the
squarely on
250,000.
Grant County.
So, but I know we get our population, I think we do have the highest Medicaid population on the behavioral health the BHO, the Behavioral Health Organization, but I don't know about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think I just want to throw this out there. I'll go ahead and forward the email to you so you can kind of look at it. and
Okay. Yeah, no, I
kind of,
appreciate that.
Like, are we going to move forward on this to be a quarter of the diversion or do our
Okay.
own?
Or do our
And
own.
we actually need to get Dell in this conversation because Dell
Yeah.
has been looking at doing like that 23-hour diversion or the kind of the stop and drop.
And still love to figure out how to use our work release building. So,
Anyway, that might be a building. So we'll talk about it at 11 o'clock. I just wanted to
Okay.
get you guys thinking about it.
perfect. No, thank you. And thank you for sending that to me. So with the executive session on personnel discipline review, I can do it in 7 minutes.
7 minutes is our lucky day.
I know.
I'm gonna go 10.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go into executive session beginning at 9:11 a.m., coming out at 9:21 a.m. for evaluation, RCW 42.30.1101G. We're going to extend executive session to 9:30 a.m.
and I think Public Works is here. So,
It is
okay.
9:30, we're out of executive session, no decisions have been made.
Oh, my bad, give me a minute. Or start without me, I'll hurry.
How are you, Andy?
Good, how are you?
Good. Here, I'll let you sit right here.
Thanks, sir. Make sure my phone's on silent.
Good morning, it's 9:30 a.m. and we are here for a Public Works update.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Great.
James is gonna start with our accomplishment update.
Before you start with that, can I talk about something real quick?
Sure.
So I sent you an email saying that the budget process wasn't going well.
Yes.
What I meant was that it wasn't so much you and Rachel. I don't know what you thought of Dave Friend's.
I thought it was way too much and it's not the place to go over the annual
He
construction
was moving
program.
at warp speed and I don't think anybody was keeping up with him or paying attention. So, anyway, good, I mean, we'll continue to work on that so that.
Yeah. No, we'd
properly
appreciate,
presented Budget.
we would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Cause
So hopefully you didn't think it was me attacking you or Rachel.
no, honestly, Tom, I was just curious, any suggestions would be welcomed.
Sorry.
No problem. So I guess the last couple of weeks, they've been really hitting the grading roads. I mean, they did 500 total miles of grading roads as well as 632 miles of rock raking. So they've been trying to hit those with the weather, having the moisture in the ground. Prime time to do it. We started doing some culvert inspecting and cleaning throughout the county. Started doing a little bit of our minor ditching. We didn't get anything for the landfill this morning, so the other things was West Shore. I talked to Todd this morning. They should be getting all the sidewalks done. Some of the driveways possibly will not go this year due to weather. They'll probably have to wait till next year. Chad said they will be pulling out of there the 25th of this month, which is next Tuesday. And they're done for the season.
For those driveways that need to be paved.
Some are paved, but I believe most of them are gonna be concrete. So I think they're wanting to wait till nicer weather. Talked to Jay this morning on Stratford. Stratford was delivered to us on Friday and it's opened up. We are keeping it as a construction zone, to keep it at 35 mile an hour. It's just too cold to shoot it. It is what it is. I'd rather wait until spring when we have better weather than try to force it and fixing everything anyways. So
It's about $200,000 a shot, so.
just to waste it because of the weather.
I know people are happy that it's open, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some few that thought it was open a little sooner than it was, but it's okay.
I put the barricades up one day when I was out there.
Yeah.
Barricades seem to be optional anyway.
It's just Grant County. That's everywhere. Oh,
Well, they are removing all that today, but like James said, we're gonna keep it a construction zone. Our plan is initially, we're gonna start out, we'll have a blade out there every Monday and Thursday, touching it up, going into the weekend and coming out.
and our sheriff will be patrolling it because it is a 35 mile an hour. We want to somewhat keep it intact so we don't have too much work to do in the springtime to get it back to shooting it. So
And as far as winter maintenance, we're not sure what we're gonna do. We would like it to freeze, keep everything held in place. But then we don't know what would happen to that. Let's say it freezes and we use our ice slicer on it. Is that gonna make the top bit of the gravel surface melt as well? And then, so we're gonna be learning as we go on that this winter, so.
but, besides that, like I said, we've had a few calls on Stratford, letting them know now that it's open. So like you said, they're happy now. They don't have to go around.
Your ice slicer, that's liquid?
No, that's the mag chloride ice slicer granular that we mix with sand.
I don't know if you want to look at the stand-up that we use around parking lots. The difference being the stand-up is liquid that you put down. And if you put it down, if you can do it before storm,
We do that too.
We do
We do a
both.
pre-treat.
Yeah,
Our spray department, our vegetation,
yeah.
they actually convert those trucks over to spray to pre-treat the roads.
Just use that.
Yep. And
Yeah, I thought about that too, but same thing, we don't know what it would do to it. Is it gonna keep that roads, the top of that road surface from freezing or? I
Just
don't
keeps
know.
the ice from forming,
Yeah.
so it's still be hard.
Yeah,
The only other thing we can, yeah,
I just thought,
the other thing we have to look into is if we do I think we use mag chloride as the liquid and we treat it, what will it do when we go to chip seal it next spring? Will that do anything weird with our oil or
How
I think
long
we'll
is
let
the
it
stretch
penetrate.
though?
3 miles?
I would just
we're just gonna,
plow it and gravel it, well,
we're just gonna
sand
keep
it.
maintaining it, yeah.
Yeah, just like you would any gravel
I
road.
think it's the
Or else
best
you're gonna
thing,
have a mud bog.
yeah.
That's what we're suspecting. If we use some of those products, it's never gonna freeze up on us and
What we're gonna find the most, I think, is just gonna be, washboards going up the hill. I mean, you got people
20
going up,
road intersection.
yeah. So we'll keep, like I said, Mondays and Thursdays, just try to keep on every week, do the best we can.
It's less than ideal, but that's all right.
So, yep, that's what I got for that.
The Adrian vacation, I was asked to discuss that a little bit. And our county engineer I find that the Adrian Plat was an abandoned town from the early 1900s. Adrian Loop is a track in the map system that goes through what would be town lots where the home of the petitioner is built. The actual right-of-way designated for county right-of-way is unbuilt. The road and unbuilt rights are useless to the public, and the public shall benefit by vacation and abandonment thereof. So, I don't know if there's any questions on that.
Adrian tried to do the county seat back.
Yeah, that didn't quite make
They
it.
voted for Freedom.
Really?
They did. They were part of that crazy story. It's a crazy story.
Really? I did not know that.
So Adrian and Wilson Creek were vying for the county seat. They found out they weren't gonna be it. There was a contingent from Wilson Creek. And others from, I can't remember where the towns are. I'll find the little write-up. They went over to the state legislature. They had a vote on it. And the representatives that were voting for Freedom took the other contingent out.
I knew Wilson Creek had tried.
Well, the deal was they got them so snookered that they didn't show up for the vote the next morning.
Oh, is that when they were inebriated and were
Oh,
not?
that's how Fredo was
Okay.
selected.
So I think we've already done some vacations in that community, so road vacations.
Previously.
Yeah, so I see they're probably just trying to do a little more cleanup. It just looks like 1, 2, 3 roads, 3 stretches.
And that hearing looks like it's on the 9th.
Yep, 9th of December, 11:30 a.m. Okay. Thanks for the update on that one.
Solid waste phase 4, we are still waiting on final approval from the health department and ecology to start putting trash in it. So no real estimate on that or anything else. So that's where that is. I also was asked by HR, so solid waste in the past has trained their own employees, basically took them through a CDL program. 3 to 5 years ago, they changed the requirements to where it was so time consuming that they stopped doing it in-house. So we worked with HR and the PA's office to come up with basically a CDL agreement that will actually send one employee to Big Bend so that they can continue to get their CDLs. They have a laborer 1 and a laborer 2 position, and the laborer 2, the only difference is they have their CDL. And operators are required to have the CDL. So should be starting that maybe next month, have our first candidate. So
So does the county pay for that then?
yes,
Okay.
and I can send you the agreement. It's a handshake deal that says you'll work for, I think it's a year after you get it. It's just, I honestly think if we were to do it in-house, it would cost us more than it does to go to Big Bend. because of the time that the foremen have to take to spend with him teaching them, and it just, they nearly tripled the amount of time that it took. So we just don't do it anymore. So is there any questions on anything?
No, that's good.
There'll be a lot more to follow on Stratford, because we've never had to try to do this, so it's gonna be a learning process, and we'll just do the best we can. It may end up being like what Rob said, we know we're gonna plow it with road graders, we're not gonna use trucks. It may be such a thing that it's just gonna have that compact snow and ice that we really can't do much about. Sand it, but we can't use any products to melt it. So, I don't know,
Well, if they're only going 35, you got sand on it.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time
Get
on
used to it.
snowy gravel roads, and I don't know, I've never had one, bare on purpose. So, I don't know.
well, and the key's gonna be the 35,
Yeah.
because we do a pretty good job of keeping Stratford clear. Stretches to the north by Moses Lake, we use the anti-icing on, I think out to maybe 10 northeast. And it's not gonna be that way this winter. So that last 3 miles is probably gonna be compact snow and ice. 35 is gonna be important, but like you say, it was out of our control. It's suboptimal, but we'll figure out what works best and do the best we can.
I think they'll just be happy that they can drive down that road 35 as opposed to going down through 8.
I agree.
I took that detour.
At least initially, Kevin.
Well, it's only for a short period of time.
And it'll be one of the first roads we do in the spring as soon as the weather's good enough.
Right.
So,
Well, when it's winter time, nobody drives down Stratford that much anymore.
Yeah.
It's cold out. They don't be traveling.
well, that's all we had. Well, I had some leaf slips for Tom. That he did fill up. That'll use up my annual for the year.
How's it going with Prothman on county engineer?
They seem a little slow. We actually got all excited. We had an applicant on Friday. But they want to work remote. So we're emailing back and forth right now. So, no, the Prothman thing seems a little slow to me, but it is still moving.
Did they give you an update at all as to when they would be done with it?
We do have so we put out that RFQ for engineering services. We only had one company reply. And that contract is at the PA for review right now. So
What company?
HLA. Please don't ask me what it stands for.
Your existing didn't even apply, huh?
Well, yes and no. They came in with a group, and she's part of that group.
Oh, okay.
It was very different than what I expected, but I actually liked it. And what we requested is that they provide us with an engineer that will spend 2 half days a week in our office, and they've agreed to do that. So Dave can help transition them, get them, up and running. It'll take some of the work off of his plate, and I don't know, we've had one applicant.
How many driveways out West Shore are not going to get completed?
I'm not
I'm
positive.
not positive. He didn't say, he just said a few of them, so I could find out more from Todd.
We probably won't know for sure until he says it's too cold and we can't do it anymore. Because they're getting as many done as they can, but
You might want to know which ones those are.
And I know concrete wise, you can pour something in the colder, but I mean, personally, it was mine. I'd want to wait till the springtime because warmer weather colder weather tends to crack concrete, so.
Those mixes aren't guaranteed.
Right.
I mean, we did a lot of that at the jail, and we ended up not having to we only report one. But they played a lot with that mix.
well, and doesn't cure nearly as quickly, so we have a longer window of time that people can scratch their names in it and drive bikes through it and, you know, 'cause so hopefully next week, week after, we'll have a list of what is not gonna get completed. So,
I just had a quick budget question. In pits and quarries, 560 a cat, you in like 24, 25, you had 1.7 million, and 25, okay, expenses revenue. This year, you're only budgeting in pits and quarries 269,000 instead of 1.7 million. Is that correct?
it is.
Okay.
We do not need to crush this year and probably won't need to in 2027 either.
Okay. Just want to make sure that was correct.
I talked to John Brissy last week a little bit about moving fill from Neva Lake out to the corners off St. Kittleson. And the question was availability of trucks. We could save a significant amount of money if we could have Public Works do that instead of an outside contractor, I'm sure. But the need is going to have those trucks lined up one after another when the contractor's raising that site. Any idea on what that would cost to do that? If it was,
How many yards or tons do you know?
I can get it.
Okay. And then the two locations?
It's Neva, where we dump it in Neva Lake.
Okay,
And then the coroner's new site is behind Sherry's on Hills.
Right, that's the distance.
and that's the material you took out for the jail? Okay,
Tom, could they just haul it out there and put it where they need it and then have them move it?
Yeah, I think because it has to be compacted and all that as they're doing it, they're bringing the site up. Anywhere from 11 to 16 inches or something like that.
okay.
So they
And
place it down.
that's not a big area there, is it? So I'm thinking, try to get a pumping truck in there, you might have a little bit more challenge, but
I think you could drive through from the Sherry's parking area in and then come back around.
can you go around the backside of
You
it?
can, yeah.
Okay,
I
don't
think,
know if you-
so, yeah, we need to speak to that landowner. There's a Ram Road is
Yep.
what it's called, and there's a half-street improvement that we're responsible for, and right now that landowner's got a fence across it and some other stuff, so.
I think you could go through the Sherry's or
But
these trucks.
that's actually, that area where that fence is gonna be at our entrance to the Sally Port, so.
So they're not to move it anyway.
I can send you a copy of the plans, you can see what the footprint looks like.
Yeah, if you would, we can get a better estimate.
Be good to know. And I don't know, if we would love to be able to do that this year, don't know. Might
Yeah,
be
well-
spring. We're doing civil.
and it might be hard for us too, because we're trying to get Drumheller done as well as fairgrounds.
And that's part of the reason I asked,
Yeah.
is to do that coordination to see if we could use Public Works or not.
Well, and the other thing we're getting now, most of our body sanders are on, so we're down several trucks too. But no, let us know. We'll see if we can fit it in.
But we can get trucks from all three districts, so.
Yep.
I mean, we can make it work.
Friday morning, I have a kickoff meeting with, I just scheduled. Merchant McIntyre.
Okay.
Do you want me to invite you to that? That's gonna be 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Talk about scheduling.
Is it anybody else going to that meeting tomorrow in Spokane? I know you are.
I know you were. Well, which one? I won't be there until the afternoon, so.
Yeah, I won't either. I'm gonna focus on the solid waste stuff.
Yeah.
But
What time are you planning on being there?
I think it starts at 1 tomorrow, is the wax swim.
I probably won't be there until around 2:30 or 3. You're in the legislative action deal, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be there around 2:30.
I'll find you though. You got my
Okay.
cell phone number, right?
Yeah. Yeah, yes, 1 o'clock. Yeah, that's what my focus is gonna be, landfill. I have a lot to learn. But I enjoy it, so that helps,
It's a great place to network.
yeah.
Are you on the app?
Yeah.
Who app? That's right, you are.
I'm not very good at networking.
Use that app.
I
Works good.
I didn't know about it until I think Kevin sent me a message, like, what is this? Spam.
I think I've already been tasked in points too, so I'm not the first person.
Already?
So, yeah, I knew it would have been.
Oh, you better get on it.
But yeah, please invite me to that March of McIntyre. That might be exciting. It might be an exciting opportunity.
I'm hoping it is.
Yeah. Okay, well, we don't have anything else. Any other questions or?
No.
Nope. All right, well, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we will be back at
No, I
10
didn't look to
a.m.
see if
for
you
auditor's
denied my
office
leave slip.
update. Good morning, it's 10 a.m. and we are waiting for the auditor's office update. We will stand in, oh, she's here. Never mind, she's here.
Good morning.
Auditor Michelle Jaderlin is in the building.
I guess I don't have a very good update, other than we're just working on stuff,
How's elections
Tyler
going?
stuff, election stuff. It's going.
It's going.
We'll see. Yes, it's going. It's finishing up.
Be certified next week.
I think, is it next Monday?
It's like the day before Thanksgiving, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it Monday? No, it's
I wanna-
Tuesday.
I thought it,
Wednesday?
what's the
Right?
date?
Oh, the election, is it the 18th,
Tuesday.
Bring my- Is it, okay,
25th?
the 25th.
Canvassing board certification of election.
Yep,
Yes,
Is that
yes.
you, Rob?
yep,
And then we'll be done
if I remember.
Till the next election.
until February. We'll have one in February because I think you've already school districts on it. I don't know who else at this point. Mammy's up trying to get all the capital sheets ready for our 11:15 meeting. And, that's about it. And there's something else you guys want to know about?
Last day of this election is tomorrow? That's the final count?
Is it?
I don't know.
Well, it's final on
Somebody said
certification
that.
day.
Yeah,
That's the final, because we could change something, it will change the count. So that's the last day.
What would you think if we went back to in-person voting? What's your opinion?
It's crazy.
So,
We
you know,
can hardly-
Scott Pressler's in town, right? So he's.
It's a horrible idea.
Oh, in person.
Oh, yes. Yes, we have trouble finding people to close ballot boxes, one person for each ballot box. We need multiple per precincts, and there's a lot more of those. You have to set up a place to have them. You have to have the people that run them, bring it in. I think you have more time. I think you have more information at your fingertips at home voting. You can look up in Google, you got your voter pamphlets, you have time to sit and just think about it.
Pick up the phone and call somebody.
I think that's very old school, that people want to go back to the,
So just, what do you think?
and I think turnout was lower because
Yeah.
it's hard to get there.
And this isn't a loaded question or anything, I'm just truly curious.
Mhm.
So the whole state of Florida can do a statewide election like the presidential election, and they can get every ballot counted in a single day and have the results that night. But the city of Seattle is still counting ballots for the mayor's race. How's that? Trying to figure out how they do it in Florida.
Well, they have a lot more, yeah, I don't know either unless they're, I mean, when we run ours, we don't have them all counted because we lock our ballot boxes and then we go get them the next day. And then we count those on, after we do
I
that.
was just curious.
Yeah,
It's one
I
of the
don't
things that
know how they
continually
do
comes up
it.
on social media.
And the mail, our mail, the 2-day mail delivery, they don't stamp them the day they get them in the post office, the 2-day, up to 2 days,
Yeah.
24 to 48 hours
That's our
later.
biggest issue is the post office right now.
There
And
are
people
a lot.
trying to train them to get it. Don't hang on to your ballot until the last day. You can tell them and tell them and tell them. We only had one time
It's
where
even
it
on the
worked.
envelope, yeah.
And it was, I think, the 2 presidential elections ago, they had a campaign, get your ballot, vote, get it in the box. And people did it early. And then we go through all these changes where people think, oh, they're changing your votes if you do it early. And so then they start going back to this other, let's wait till the last day and vote. But I know
Is there-
when we used to do that and had to wait for other, people are here until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, trying to process ballots. It was a nightmare doing it like that.
Is there any way, we've heard complaints on the screen, I think a Republican, somebody from the Republican Party, somebody from the Democratic Party, and I don't know. Is there any way of letting them, we had a complaint that they had people standing in front of the screen or in the way that they couldn't view the ballot counting?
Oh, yeah, they wanted to have a viewing area inside of elections, basically, to watch, I don't know, them open the envelopes and put them in piles.
We do online. It's,
You can watch it
there's a
live on
live
YouTube.
feed and we have the
Yeah.
cameras out in the
Yeah.
hallway.
I
And they
had
can
gotten
stand
asked
there.
that, though, that they wanted
Yeah.
to sit in there and watch.
Oh.
Like a
Well, because they
viewing
want
gallery.
to see information they're not supposed to see, you know, I mean, they can come in and observe and they can come back, but they can't go back when they're tallying.
Can they even volunteer to help?
Yes, and we've had, the Republican Party was up there during one of them. We had, Candy Erickson and, Andrew were in there, watching one of them and the process, but the process is right there. I mean, they can watch right online. It doesn't have audio, but,
We don't want it to have audio.
exactly, we don't want it to have
Just
audio.
going through that right now.
Yeah. It's just a live feed of what the process is going on. It's not very exciting, and people that come and watch it get bored really fast because it's just not very exciting.
I've had a lot of questions from other counties about ours, you know, and when I tell them it's on YouTube, they just look at me dumbfounded. You know, it's like, it's not that hard to do.
Just, yeah.
And, yeah, we just,
And frankly, my experience with there is they really don't want to hear what you have to say. They've got a preconceived idea how everything goes, and they're not going to change their mind, whether they see how it really works or not. I mean, they just don't.
if you want an election expert, just go to X. You'll find 10 million of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it's interesting. I
We
mean, a
got
lot of
people-
them do make valid
We
points.
got
There's a-
people flying over in airplanes changing our ballots, you know, it's,
well, there's a question out there right now about the way that, again, the Seattle mayor's race, something
Yeah.
like 45,000 ballots that weren't verified or something like that. I don't know, who knows?
well, and if you think about it, if they didn't sign their ballot, you got to send them a letter. So all that takes time, and there's probably tons of people over there that didn't sign their ballot, or their signatures didn't match, and they got to process that all after the day. So, I mean, that's what takes probably the longest time, because it's like sending
Or the
out.
date stamp, you have to verify.
Mm-hmm,
date
you have to look
stamp.
at the date stamps when we receive them. But, I mean, there's just a whole lot more to it than just a day's worth of, you know, and I don't know what Florida, RCWs are that they follow.
It's just curious.
Yeah, but,
I'm sure not the same as Washington.
I'm sure it's not.
No, we have a lot that get thrown out
Yeah.
over signatures don't match.
Yeah,
The date is a biggie
the
with
date,
the
yeah.
post office doing later date stamps.
No signature is a lot.
We even received ballots from previous elections.
No, yeah. It's always amazing. We've gotten like four different ones in a group. And you're like, you just keep this stuff hanging out
Yeah.
for an
pile
entire
of-
year. You have an entire year's mail at your house. So you can pull those ballots out, vote them all at once. All kinds of stuff happens, but yeah, I don't know. People always say that, and I'm all like, no. We can hardly get people to help us now. It would be really rough to set that all up for an election night. And then you gotta wait for every precinct to bring their ballots in, and I mean, that's the way we used to do it. It just seems very old school.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Anything else from Michelle?
No, it looks like we're still at 8.8 million in the reserve to balance our budget right now for current expense. We need to find that tree that grows money so we can get this thing.
I know. Hey, Larry has a money tree. There's actually a tree called the money tree. Yeah, Larry has one. Tammy's boyfriend,
We
right?
need a money tree. We need it fast. We need it to be producing.
Just out of curiosity, have you checked with your employees to make sure they've done open enrollment? I'm looking at this email from Melissa.
Well, I just started to try to do one. It was working really slow.
That's what she said, they're having significant issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did mine yesterday and it was just really.
Really?
cumbersome. Yeah.
Well, I just started to try to do mine today and it wasn't working like, not to mention, I'm like jumping around trying to do other things, you know, people coming in and working on other stuff, but it was working really slow. Took a long time just for it to log to just to load. So, I haven't heard anybody say anything yet. Other than that they know they have to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
You want benefits.
If you want your benefits, yeah. So I thought I was gonna try to get mine done today. So, okay, I'm off.
All right, we'll go into
All right.
recess until 10:30 when we are back with Superior Court. 10:15 for the Treasurer's Office. Good morning, it's 10:15 a.m. and we are here for a Treasurer's Office update with Daryl Pheasant.
Okay, last week we conducted our foreclosure sale. We had 17 parcels in our sale, 15 sold, where total received was almost 400,000 with foreclosure surplus of over 327,000. We did the 2 parcels that did not sell is going up today for one last chance. They'll probably not sell and become tax title property. Which then we can sell at a future date.
Those landlocked parcels, is that why they're not selling?
One is, and the other one is one I drive by every day. Is a 10-foot wide strip between 2 houses. Somebody's using it, but no one wants to stake out and see who's actually using the property without permission. Well, now if it's owned by the tax title, they can't use it at all because they have to do a lease. And so then that means we have to figure out who is using it and ask them to stop and or get a lease payment or buy it so that they can continue using it because that's the taxpayer's property and not their personal property. Under right now, it hasn't been the taxpayer's property all this time because someone bought it 4 years ago and thought that they'll not pay taxes on it and say us try to sell it so they can make money on the surplus. Well, it didn't sell. There's no surplus, so the guys didn't get any money from it. So that's what happened there. We are just about to send out our delinquents postcards, getting it set up, and based on the timing and everything, we may have to do an ACH to the entity so it can get printed and sent out quicker instead of waiting for the mail to get to Master's Touch. Talk to the port. Again, is how the port, the Samaritan Hospital, the fire district, the port, and County Road. The County Road is also impacted in their revenue estimate. But I never do county roads. They never have asked me to do the revenue estimate for property taxes. But they would also be impacted if there is any new construction in the county side of the TIF. What we didn't get was a breakdown of how much the TIF was for in the state of Moses Lake and how much was in the county. So in the county, that impact probably is much less if the county may have ZIP. And so the county road wouldn't be impacted as long as it's not, as long as the calculation is done correctly to do it, which I still have no idea if she's doing it and what if she is doing it, why it's taking so long, because it's The PAC showed me and Clark County showed me how easy the process is just to get it all, just to input all the parcels. Doesn't need her to do it. Unfortunately, we could have easily got it done if it was on our side. Because it's not a hard project to do, so I don't know what's going on in there. But also when I talked to the port, they think that under $100 million is low. They think it's probably should be more. So I don't know if the number we got from Melissa on Friday is an absolute number or is just a rough estimate.
The number on new construction?
New construction in the TIF. Because, see, I've been asking the question to PACs and other counties, how do you get this number? And they didn't think there was a program to get it. So I've been trying to get PACs to respond to me to do a ticket on the refund levy portion effect. And so, but it doesn't look like anyone's ever asked of all the counties that have TIFs in PACs is how do you get a new construction number? Well, you have to run the program to get the number. And if she hasn't run the program, then how did she get that number?
Can I make a suggestion? I'd like to suggest that going forward, we have treasurer and assessor update at the same time, so we can ask these questions, so that it's not just, and then she's in the room, and then we can find out.
Yeah, normally it makes it more confusing when,
Oh, is it?
when she's not.
Yeah.
And he says his questions and you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Then we don't ever get a follow-up, so yeah, I like that.
Maybe we could
Well,
schedule.
Daryl, they don't, she doesn't even have the 26 numbers on the website, right? Yeah.
I know, but per PACs, she could put in the original base numbers into the system to do the calculation of this year's TIF. Then it's just a matter of whatever the process PACs does for boundary line adjustments and new plats. But here, I'm still trying to get numbers for this year, not for next year. And I want to know, making sure she uses the right levy rate, and not the levy rate that includes the refund levy for last year for this year. Because TIF didn't exist, so they shouldn't get any of the refund levy. But those are the things I don't get told what her data points are.
But if she was here, you could ask her.
So, yeah, so I give you an estimate. Hopefully it's not like last year where she gave us a value estimate and then ended up being $1 billion more.
$1 billion?
Yes. She came in, said this was the value, and then after you approved the levy rate, she came in and it was $1 billion more. I don't know how you can beat that off. So that's the next thing, yeah, and plus, yeah, the current expense levy rate for this year was 1.047. So I'm not sure when you were talking $1.20, $1.19, $1.20. We haven't had that rate for a couple of years. We have investment mature today, another one that's, and so we've been replacing low rates with higher rates, and so our pool yield has been going up, and the state pool rate is going down. State pool rate is now under 4%. We're getting close to 3%. So we'll see what time next year when we make the switch where we'll be higher than the state pool. We're still having a lot of fun with excise tax. And just all these crazy transactions, people trying to sneak by us. They were stopping and asking questions, which generates more revenue for the local, for REITs 126 and 132. Just got one today where they tried to underpay and stopped it. So that's about it that I can think of. So are you pushing for outstanding annual leave that is over the down amount? Are you we've been trying to have a lot of people take a lot of time off, try to whittle that number down to get it before year end? What is the process if we can get it down to that amount? Do we have that paid off? Just have it paid as a payroll salary to get it down? When I'm talking about the annual leave, sick leave caps.
There isn't a sick leave cap.
Okay, so annual leave cap. So if we're still having people take a lot of time off to try to get down get that cap, get closer to the cap. Right, so if we're still over 240, is that something that we're paying out? Or they're losing, or are you approving to be over the cap?
In the past, it's been on a case-by-case basis. Nobody's been.
Yeah,
paid
at the end of
out.
the year, they have to request, the BOCC has to sign off on it if they want to, and there has to be a legitimate reason why they're not taking it.
Otherwise, they lose it. I've never heard of it being paid out on.
Yeah, they have, the sheriff's office, because some of the departments, I think the sheriff pays out. I don't know if we've done any for Renew.
That policy though?
No, but they have to come to us. I thought they had to come to us and ask if it was a payout. But that would have been, Kirk would have done it, and then Decorah.
Yeah, I'd want to verify. I understand it's payout if you resign or retire or what happened.
No, and the sheriff's had some that,
Yeah.
because they
I didn't know
can't
that.
take time off, it's like, all my guys use up all their time. I won't have anybody, so they get paid out for it. Doesn't happen a lot, but there are.
No, I
some
wasn't aware. I
instances.
didn't think that was.
So, all right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Daryl.
All right, we'll go into a quick recess until 10:30 when we're back with Superior Court. Good morning, it's 10:30 a.m. and we are here for a Superior Court update with Crystal Burns.
Good morning. So the biggest update I have to give, which you may or may not have heard, that Judge Hill is leaving us. Yes, he is going to the Court of Appeals. So he will be leaving at the end of the year.
Wow.
Yay.
No, not yay.
Get to
Yay for
appoint
him.
Another judge.
Yes, so the
No, we don't
governor,
appoint judges.
yeah,
we do.
the governor
We did.
does.
For
No.
Superior? No.
Mm-mm. So the
Oh.
governor does have the vacancy out.
Oh, that's true.
That's
It
what's
closed.
terrifying.
Yes, it
Fair.
closes December 8th.
Awesome.
So we will see. It's gonna be a big change.
Well,
I'm
especially
excited for him, but I'm sad to lose him. So
Sure.
I think we're probably gonna have at least a month, maybe more, of not having a judge there, a third judge, which is really gonna impact us, so. That's kind of what we're all concentrating on right now. Mhm.
Got any more good news?
Yeah,
I always feel like I come in here with bad news.
yeah, no, that was,
We should allow that.
Definitely bad news, because I forgot that the governor appointed Superior Court.
Mhm.
I thought it'd suck to have to pick one. That's
Yep,
even
you don't have
worse.
to be involved in that.
and they don't even have to live in Grant County
No.
when the governor selects a judge.
Mm-mm. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm not really sure who's interested right now, so
Real soon.
yes, we will soon. So I'm just hoping we don't have too much of an overlap of not having a third judge. That's gonna be very difficult to manage.
Especially right now.
Yeah, we've been super busy.
Yeah, it's bad timing.
Yeah, but I'm very happy for him because this is something he's wanted for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Good for him.
mhm.
Yes. Good for
Yes.
him, bad for us.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So other than that, we're just super busy doing a lot of trials and all of our other dockets we have going on. And I don't need anything from you all. So it's a good thing, right? Yes. Mhm. I don't really know how many people know right now. He was just appointed to the Court of Appeals. I think it was announced last week, so it's all very new. I don't really think it's out there yet, but I did ask if I could share it with you all, and he said yes.
All right, well, tell
So-
him congratulations, but
Yes, I
I'm
will
happy
do that.
for him, but sad for
Mhm,
us.
yes.
I would agree.
Mhm. So,
How's it going on your leadership oath?
it's been good.
It's been
It's
good?
good. You know, I don't have a group that is very involved.
Really?
Yeah, so like last week, there was 3 of us
Oh my gosh.
during our breakout live session, and that's been pretty common.
That's disappointing.
So, yeah, but I like everything about it. It's been very insightful.
You're building your oath.
Yes, I am.
You can share it.
Oh, I don't know. Do you want me to?
Yes.
Okay, I will. Once it's all done, I will share it. It's been a good course. Have you all done it?
Rob's done it. Cindy's done
Rob's
it.
done it, Cindy's done it. I'm the-
You're
I'm
next.
the straggler.
Okay. It is good. I've enjoyed it.
I actually just took my last name so I could remember, like, see, you know how your R would be
Use
like
Carter's
respect.
acronym.
Yeah, because I wouldn't be able to remember it and I'm still struggling, but it is at my house, so I just want to be able to remember what it was. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it just a little bit differently than everybody else.
I've been taking a lot of notes, so, because there's so many good reminders about this course of things that you know, but you don't think about on a day-to-day basis that you really should be focusing on. So that's been my biggest takeaway so far. So I'm trying to take a lot of notes and I'm gonna make sure I go back and read them often, so you don't forget those things. It's important.
There's a lot of content.
A lot. Yeah, but it's been good.
Good.
I've enjoyed it.
Problem is life gets in the way.
Yes, it does. Yes. So that's all I got. Do you have any questions for me?
No, when will the judge be making an announcement that he's leaving?
Well, they're supposed to be doing a press release, the
Okay.
governor's office is. And so he's, I think, waiting on that. He was hoping it was going to be out last week, so it was not. So hopefully this week.
You might let them know that the Court of Appeals is video game free.
Yeah.
You might have to leave this video game here.
Yes, he might have to. Yeah, he gets to work from home quite a bit, so he's looking forward to that. Yeah. It'll be a big transition for him.
You should go visit his office.
Not a gamer.
Who's the gamer?
Don't have time for that.
Tyson Hill, he's got that arcade game. up there.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
So, lots of change coming. Lots of new judges.
Yeah, it'll keep you on your toes.
Yes.
As long as they sign my documents today.
Yeah. Good luck. I didn't sign mine. Took 4 times. So I wish you better success.
You're going to be able to represent yourselves by the end of all this. You're going to be very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Just think about it.
I've done that in the past. I don't want to do it again. It's not fun. But I might have to. Just about over it.
I understand that.
The next time I do it, I'm gonna sit in the courtroom when it takes place.
Oh, yeah.
Just so they can realize that if they keep extending this, I will not be supporting them next time.
I don't think they're worried about your 1 vote.
You never know.
Hey, in Grant County, that matters.
It does. Anything else? All right. We will recess until we are back at 10:45 for Commissioner work session. Thank you, Crystal.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning. It's 10:45 a.m. and we are here for the Commissioner's work session. You guys want to continue on that topic or no?
So yeah, I'm not sure what all she's gonna compile, if it's gonna be a summary or if it's gonna be detailed. I'd like to have all of the budgets in one detailed sheet, because I'd like to search it for anomalies and that kind of thing, but I don't know if we'll get that. I'm working on that on my own. But I didn't have as much time this weekend as I thought, so.
Mostly just wondering because some of the numbers that she had in the 2026 column didn't match the numbers that we had in our spreadsheets, and so I was not gonna say anything at the time, because if it's just like a quick notes thing or whatever,
Are you
then
talking specifically about the BOCC budget?
yes, that link that she had sent on Thursday or Friday for the 2026 BOCC budget with the spreadsheet that she created. There was a lot of information that just has not been updated since 2025, like Brittany is still listed on there, and like the splits for the boards and committees wasn't correct, but she had not put any 2026 information in there.
You're talking on the salaries side?
The salary side, yes, that had not been updated for 2026, and so but there were a couple of tabs in there where there was a 2026 column, and some of those, the numbers did not match the spreadsheets that I had sent to her, to you guys. So I guess I didn't know if you guys knew if that was the plan, was to put a detailed spreadsheet together like in that format that she had sent to you guys. And if so, then I'll reach out to her to see the final copy, so that way we can make sure it's correct.
At some point last week, I did ask them what they were planning on doing, and Michelle and Mandy both said that they were going to be providing summaries, like they always had, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. So
I'll follow up on that.
we'll find out.
Well, Mandy's working on it because she was just in it 3 minutes ago. For the combined budget.
Anything at county leaders that, Rob, you or Kevin?
Haven't downloaded the app yet.
Yeah, anything you want to try and focus on, any topics anything you want me to do any research on?
No, not particularly for me. I feel like we already have a topic you're working on.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, it's just exciting to get the jail done.
Yeah.
The morgue will be done. Well, it's working that way.
Yeah.
Animal outreach deals breaking ground. So most of the projects we have are moving past anything to do with the three of us.
Yeah.
So that's kind of exciting. So we don't really have anything in those. But, long-term planning, focusing on how maybe other counties do their forecast, like just their planning.
Yeah.
I haven't really done that.
Could ask Andy to get into other counties that are doing landfill projects too.
Yeah.
Did Andy talk to you about your 12 o'clock meeting, what that is today? The road improvement district?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Commissioner referred her to our office to schedule the meeting, so that is why it's on there.
Well, because they tried to talk to me in public.
Exactly.
Are we expecting somebody to be here?
Yes, Mrs. Link will be here, yes.
But no, he didn't talk about that in his update.
Oh, he didn't? Okay, I just wanted to
I just
remind you what
didn't
that
think
is.
it made sense to it's like Schiffner. Why would I meet with him?
Correct.
Then I get deposed again for something
You're learning.
that I don't care about. I mean, because you can't even say your real opinion, right? When you're getting deposed. Like, my real opinion is
ABC, yeah.
Well, they ask you questions, so.
5-letter word, 4-letter word, 6-letter word. It's like none of it's really. This would be so short if I could just say what I know and what I think and be like, all right, y'all have a nice day. And then they would say, yeah, we're not going to use his opinions at all. Okay, Rob was never here.
You said that. I got called for jury duty. I got called.
So, I guess that we're having roundtable. What do we want to do on the regional diversion program?
Don't know.
I think Dell, because Dell has talked about, kind of providing a service like this.
I think that I need Dell and you, or,
Yeah.
and if we're gonna do Wenatchee, then I need Overbay. We need like tell us what we're doing. Like, why would we be giving you money?
Yeah, let's learn.
I don't know enough information about it, and I just feel like I haven't.
Well, I think we've been on this for 4 or 5 years.
I know.
And now it's to actually study it. But here's the kicker.
It's crazy.
And I told them,
$250,000 is
well, to do I think it's up to that amount. But where the kicker is that we get to pay, this is to determine where it's gonna be, what it's gonna look like. And then what our share, and I don't even know, Dell might have better numbers than I have, what our share would be paying for this. And I told them I wasn't real fond, we just went to the voters for the jail, the new jail. So I have a really hard time turning around and saying, here, we have a mental health tax and now we have a regional facility and maybe it's in Grant County, maybe it's not. It's probably not gonna be in Grant County because would be the furthest away. I don't know, I would rather take that opioid money and use it if Renew could do it. Have that 23-hour kind of a drop off. I know Dell's been, excuse me, amping up his services. It's just hard. It's a lot of money. And we have a new jail.
My biggest concern are those, the grant funds that fund all these things. What happens when those grant funds are no longer there?
The opioid, yeah.
Any of them, I mean,
The opioid.
they can go away at any time. And are we just letting people go? Is that how that works?
I don't know.
They cut their budget, so they let people go?
Well, I think that's why they're looking for a tax, the sales tax increase to fund it.
So I guess I'm looking at this email from Commissioner Overbay. This is the information received from our regional diversion group. They are asking that Grant County help fund $250,000 for the RFP. So that seems awfully expensive for an RFP. I guess I'm not understanding what it is they're doing with that.
You gotta look through, we did fund about 20,000 for,
I'm assuming he'd be at Wasac
Yeah.
this week.
I'm assuming.
Maybe we can chat with them about that. Let's get more information.
well, I think it's a good program, but I also think that we're doing some things. We have with the new jail, we're not gonna be able to have a diversion program, but we do have a new jail. They're supposed to be sending behavioral health. I think we did an ARPA grant for behavioral health in the jail because we were relying on Catholic Family Charities to do it, and they were hit and miss and mostly miss. Well, it's just, I'm struggling with it. I think it's just a new funding source that we have to create. We can make do with what we have.
Attendees.
And Dell, like I said, Dell was working on doing that 23-hour kind of a drop off at his own facility.
Grant County.
But it looks like we're still at 8.8. I know Mandy was in this on reserve.
And the regional diversion.
Okay, Mandy said, I'm currently working on it right now. The fiscal year 25 and 26 preliminary are almost totally up to date with information. Current information, working on getting the capital spreadsheets updated as well.
I'm sending Kevin Overby, Commissioner Overby, will be at the,
Yes, he will be.
and I just sent him a request to meet there. So.
Love that Hoover app.
What now?
Although I am definitely using it right now. So, hey, that might have gotten me some points though.
Yeah, I just don't know enough on that one. It seems like it would make sense to have a location and be involved in it only because jail bed nights is so expensive. But if you have a medical team, it's gonna be expensive there too. So I would just support whatever one was gonna cost the least and be the most effective.
Well, but jail beds
It's
is,
like right now, it's
Covered in our
cheaper to
budget.
just put somebody in a Marriott than it is to like have them in a jail bed. And that's not even including the cost of the jail. Just like the overnight stay.
well, we just
costs
need to
as
find
much.
a funding source to be a part of this.
Yeah, which is going to be the 1/10 of 1%. It's gonna be the only way. Which people are already bringing that up with Boys and Girls Club funding. I'm surprised if neither of you have been hit on that yet.
Well, no, but, yeah, and Boys and Girls funding, we did give some to veterans and Boys and Girls
Well,
Club.
that was
we had to
ARPA
go.
funding from Renew.
Yeah.
But they're wanting us to be going for the 1/10 of 1% and helping fund that through there, because I guess Kittitas does that. So that'll be coming soon if you guys haven't been hit with that yet. So I think there's gonna be a lot of pressure on adding it at the expense of, adding it.
So if our 3/10 is bringing us a little over 6 million a year, that 1/10, you would anticipate bringing 2 million a year in?
Yeah.
I know we looked at that in the past for behavioral health within the jail to fund a position. You might consider the various ways you can use that 1/10 of 1%, before committing to anything.
No, I'm fully aware of that. But
I just-
it's the whole implementation of adding a 1/10. It would need to go on a.
Yeah.
Well, we could do a
ballot.
councilmatic, but I would want it to go out to the voters.
Yeah.
But I'm, just hate to hit our voters one more time with something. I mean, our economy is not thriving. Just real quick, veteran services, I think this should probably say renew for item number 10. Just FYI, more of a cleanup.
I think the item listed is not correct. It's supposed to be a veteran services.
For 2.3 million?
Oh, boy, that
It's
was a not copy and paste, right? It's a letter of support for the people who helped at the stand down, Civil Air Patrol.
Okay, so number
So-
10, we just void number 10? Or is
What's,
that?
what's posted online is the letter of thank you from
Okay,
Veteran
but
Service.
this-
This is incorrect, yes.
So it's supposed to be a
Yeah,
letter.
so that's a
So
copy and paste.
Number
error.
10, okay, so
Yeah.
number 10, we're no longer, okay.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do an edited agenda, so that's right?
Or we can hold it till next week,
Okay.
because we're out of time to do the 24-hour notice. Because it's tomorrow at 11 that you.
10:59.
Now, have a minute.
You've been notified.
Boy. Thank you for catching that, Cindy.
Well, I just figured it was a little steep for veterans.
Okay, Barb, we're gonna be rolling into our
Okay.
11 a.m. We'll take a 30-second recess and let the others come into the room.
Really?
Good morning, it's 11 a.m. and we are here for position management review. Hey, look at that mouse, that's a nice looking mouse. How many positions do we have today?
Thank you.
2 positions.
They always
I
say
don't
that.
see one for Mr. Guernsey here. Wow. Okay. There you go. This is just.
Anyone?
Oh, thank you. There it is, there it is.
So we make you guys can share.
Yes, yes.
There's a JD that goes.
Oh, okay.
What position do you want to begin with?
Looks like Dan would go first.
Sure.
Yeah, just give me 2 seconds. Get the teams up.
Sorry.
Huh?
Have the edits.
Okay.
I've been in a meeting.
Sorry.
For the budget. Am I gonna talk from here or do you want me to move somewhere? Never done this before.
Oh, you're a
So,
newbie.
yeah.
Well, we'd like you to pace across.
That
the
actually is
room.
preferable.
You like that
Present however you
However,
feel
you're
comfortable.
most
I can do whatever I want?
Yeah.
Awesome. Don't give me that leeway.
Gina usually starts.
Very careful.
Usually what we do is Gina will present, and then you'll add any commentary that you wish to add. Oh, he's getting the podium. Oh,
It's not ready for you yet. Did you plug in?
I'm just trying to get
Can you do that?
Zoom. Thank you, Kate. Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Good morning, Commissioners. We have a request from the prosecuting attorney's office for a legal assistant. This is adding an FTE for 2025. If you guys remember, there's a PMR request for 2026 to add an additional, that'd be 2 total for 2026. There is an immediate need to add an FTE right now, which is why this request is coming in today. And I'll go ahead and let Brandon go through the business need presentation.
Yeah, I certainly can. I'm not gonna read it because I think you guys all know how to read, but I'll just kind of go through the general kind of where I'm stuck with right now. In total, we have 12 what I guess what the office has designated as legal assistants, but 2 of them are crime victim advocates essentially. So they don't even touch criminal files in the sense of organizing them in a way that is coherent for a lawyer to review or to send them out. Other than that, we have 1 person assigned to juvenile previously, or I guess I should say prior to my appointment. The civil department did not have any legal assistant whatsoever. So that left our entire civil department handling not only the paper, quote unquote, paper management process and preparing files and stuff, but also just the actual legal review of things. I have the personal opinion that if a legal assistant can do the job, a legal assistant should do the job, because after all, we're paying our lawyers to be lawyers and not shufflers of paper or sending of documents of that nature. The problem that we're currently having is because we have so few legal assistants, we have a lot of backlog of cases where if an attorney gets to the file and starts to look at it, realizes that there's more information needed or documents needed, we basically have to stop review, go back and ask the legal assistant to either request information or reorganize the file, which always takes time, on top of what is currently assigned to them as far as open cases are concerned. My concern is that we have an extraordinarily amount of unfiled cases that haven't even been looked at or touched by the prosecutor's office yet. And that number is pretty staggering. So basically the request is for an additional legal assistant so I can try to spread the workload out a little bit more and allow the legal assistants to actually have time to focus on organizing a file so an attorney can adequately prepare for court instead of having to be a legal assistant / lawyer at the same time. I think that it's extremely, unbeneficial, ineffective, the current way that we are operating the prosecutor's office, in that a lot of lawyers are doing a lot of day-to-day paperwork that I don't think that they should, because it's taking away from their time of legal analysis, crime analysis, identifying witnesses that we need for matters. Apart from that, when I first got here, I would say probably my number one complaint was how backlogged the civil department was. And so essentially what I did was took a legal assistant from the felony side of our criminal office and assigned that person to the civil department. And I'm just trying to rectify or fix now the hole that is on the Superior Court side of the office. I will note the district court side is also experiencing a lot of requests or just a lot of need for another person. So that hence the request for 2026 as well. But we currently have that many referrals, and these are just cases that are not even filed yet, which means if they've been looked at, we're requesting more information. Or they may not even have been looked at yet. The problem that I personally have is anytime I go to a file, I like to have everything right there organized, ready to go, so that I only have to look at it one time and I can make my charging decision, because as lawyers, and especially in the prosecutor's office, we have to make a decision. And sometimes it might not be quote unquote the best decision, but something we cannot do is not make one. But we have to have all the information there in order to make one. And the going back and forth between legal assistant to lawyer, it's too ineffective. We're wasting so many hours of lawyers doing things that they should not be doing instead of their actual legal work. So, and these numbers don't even reflect the State v. Blake vacates that we have, other miscellaneous motions, the numbers on there of the open cases. I mean, those things just come and go, and they just have to be assigned and all organized. So I think historically, I'll just wrap up. I'm fairly certain that there was a legal assistant position removed to create a position for our legal technology person, which might have been part of the reason for where we are today. So I can't move forward with these numbers the way that it is right now, unless I do something completely drastic.
And the prosecuting attorney's office has been down attorneys this whole year, so there is funding available through the not filling those positions to get him through. Any questions from the commissioners?
No questions for me.
Okay. Mary, would you agree with their assessment that there is funding available?
Yes, I would. There is considerable amount of salaries and wages available.
There are no policy or process violations. Do you have any comments?
I have a question about your legal technologist. Has that been a valuable position? Has that been a position that...
I will say when I first started, I was a little skeptical. I immediately went into a murder trial. I think it was the week after I started, and he proved to be extremely helpful with organizing exhibits and creating video and things like that. He is still managing our case management software program. With every position, I think there's room for improvement. I think there was a lot of lack of accountability before and kind of not understanding exactly what the duties were. So we're trying to fix that. I think that there is value there. It just has to be shown, and people need to start relying on that aspect of the office. for years, I created my own exhibits for trials and stuff, and I would not do that anymore. I would pass it directly onto that person, so.
There's nothing more from the board. We'll bring it back tomorrow. Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon. You're free to leave.
That's all?
Yep.
That's it.
That's it, hopefully it wasn't too painful.
Jeez.
You want me to cut you? Let me go there.
I have a video I can show you. I already did that. Finger. Are we still? I had it.
We're not in executive session.
Okay. I'll show you later.
Dan,
Thanks.
you're up. Thanks.
All right. So this position is for a file clerk, and what we are requesting, the incumbent that is in the position is a 1/2 FTE, 1,040 hours. And they are going to be vacating the position, and they've tendered their resignation. So the request is to change the position from a part-time role into a full-time role, in part to support the archiving and scanning of documentation associated with permit applications and processing and other clerical support work. And Jim can probably speak to some of the other necessities of having this position be a full-time role. And budget-wise, it should be covered in this year's, correct?
Yeah, it's covered under the building budget. And like Dan said, it's currently a part-time position. I'd like to take it to a full-time position. This person also does all of our public records, public information requests, which is sizable. I don't expect you to remember, but I do have a request in my 2026 budget to supplement this file clerk position with another FTE. So my intent would be to rescind that request if the board were to allow this position to be increased from part-time to full-time. That would be effective. It would essentially be everything that we would need moving forward in 2026. We do have, a sizable amount of scanning work to do, but yeah. So pretty simply put, I'd like to request that we take this to full-time before Dan opens the position up for recruitment.
What was the rescinded request you said?
I have a request for a FTE filed clerk in my 2026 budget, so I would remove that request if we were to take this one to full-time from part-time.
You never filled the part-time position in 2025, right?
No, we had the part-time position filled. She just tendered her resignation.
Okay.
And before I put it out for recruitment, I'd like to put it out as a full-time instead of part-time. But I do
So we have a grant, historical document, so if you're scanning, and I would think that the building, your world, that is a historical document that people are requesting.
Yes,
If
Commissioner
we
Harden.
could,
We explored that grant,
okay.
but we needed to write an internal policy in order to qualify, and we hadn't done that yet, so.
Do you currently have money in your budget?
We do,
Okay.
yeah, we do. And the department with projected revenues for next year, we had monies to cover the additional FTE request. But like I said, we will pull that request if we're allowed to make this one full-time. And anticipate having the revenues to cover that, this current request.
I'm curious, who did you talk to about the historical preservation to not have the internal policies to qualify?
I didn't have the discussion personally, so I can't answer that. That was between the former director and Heidi Crete in our office. So I can explore that again.
I would think that if you could at least keep track of some portion of her time that's related just to scanning, that we could build that directly to historical preservation, at least take that out of your budget.
Okay.
Even if we don't fund you fully in the beginning, you know what I mean?
Okay. I think this was for a grant that they were going to apply for.
Okay, then this isn't a grant, this is just our in-house funds for those things.
Yeah, and I can go in forward and able to do that. In fact, we have the mail room clerk who may be able to use some of the funds to send that person over. They do an hour and a
Yeah, definitely.
Is that position pretty full in TS?
So anyway, options. Okay. There aren't any payroll policy violations. Commissioners, any questions, comments?
No questions.
Sounds like a win-win.
Okay, we'll bring it back tomorrow for further decision or further discussion.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there one more position?
That was it for EMR.
Okay. All right, well then it's 11:17 and we will roll into capital outlay budget review.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Yes, it just sounded more dramatic than it was. Tell me you're gonna receive your spot up on the bench, Corey?
I can move up.
Chairs are still here. I'll try to keep my water bottle from flying.
Forgot my geology.
I was trying to do my enrollment and I'm all like, taking me forever.
Yeah, it was moving really slow.
It was, I was like, hurry, hurry, hurry. It just-
I want to invade your space.
Space.
Spread out over here.
It's your space, I'm the one invading you.
That's all.
Okay, I gotta go under here. Oh, I keep.
Is this the one, Mandy, where will I find this? Is it in the,
Just say that.
You want me to share it with you? It's under the 2026 budget folder. In the capital outlay folder, there's an Excel spreadsheet called Capital Asset Request 2026. And that is where we have the list of all of the requests, where we've already potentially assigned some items. And I'm working on updating it a little bit right now.
You give her HDMI cord.
the tab that's, as you last saw it, is the one that's capital assets 2026. I have another one in there that I'm working on just to reformat and fix some things, but that's it's not ready, so I don't know. I also added in our current cash on hand as of October. That is its own separate tab, so it'll show every fund and cash on hand per the treasurer's office for that month. And the preliminary, I don't know, it's not, normally it just would pop back up.
Or do we need to hit the button to share the screen?
Thank you. I've also updated our preliminary budget with the changes that we've last discussed. That is also in that 2026 budget folder. It's a loose spreadsheet called Preliminary Budget 2026 Summary. If you need me to send you a new link, I can. It has the current expense separated as a separate tab, all funds as its own tab, and then it has a combined comparing the previous year, 2025, against our current draft 2026 numbers.
Can you send a new link for that one, Mandy, please?
Yeah, what folder is that one in?
So many links.
The 2026 budget folder as a loose spreadsheet, but I'll resend.
Right now I'm in capital outlay 2026 folder.
That is, so that has the capital asset requests for 2026 spreadsheet.
So ending in $62,374.90, $374,097 for revenue. I think I'm looking at the right one. Updated 1110.
No, these have been
Okay.
updated today. I'm resending the link for the preliminary spreadsheet itself, and I'll resend the capital outlay one as well.
Thank you.
So if I'm reading this correctly, the revenues look like they're at 69,315,000, And our expenditures are 71 million, and that's taking, so we need to take over $10 million out of our reserve, almost 11 million to balance the budget that we're currently looking at. Would that be fair?
I only have about 8 million.
Yeah, she's got 8,803,000.
But I'm looking at the bottom line. Our expenses are surpassing our revenues. I'm on the right one.
I'm looking at, yeah, that's showing a difference of 2,094,000 between that expense.
Isn't that carryover? Positive.
Is there some way to?
Okay, so yes, it's not, it was the hard number from last time, from the last estimate of the revenues. So when it updated the revenues, I didn't put back a formula, so 1 second. Yeah, so 11 million.
I was getting excited. We were going down, not up. Okay.
Yeah, the based off Daryl's estimate on 11/14/2015, it went down from 23,900,000 to 51,260,650 for because the reduction in the property tax revenue. That was the change.
What did you have the current expense from that at?
I had current expense in total for those revenues to be closer to 53.9, and he has 51.2.
Is he going up numbers? I wonder that if we weren't fully up to date. His guess wasn't.
Was that Friday you gave them to us? Wasn't that Friday?
That's when, yeah, Friday was the day we updated those numbers.
So I think our property taxes went up a little bit, but obviously the other accounts went down. Okay.
Caitlin, where's that thing that we got from the assessor's office?
The new construction?
No, they had sent all of it. I can't find where it is. Oh, I just opened them today and then.
So the original, the very first spreadsheet I had that Daryl gave me, there was nothing here. He would not give me any estimates for real property. And so I used the 2025 number, and that's what gave us a total of 5.29 million for revenues for current expense. But when he gave us the updated,
And then he had all those other accounts that he had different numbers.
well, I don't know if those changed. Oh, let me see.
374. So you had 51,374 for the current expense revenue, but then we upped it, I thought like 2 million from the 51. I keep going back and forth bouncing. Yeah, 21,2 for property taxes. But I thought we went to 20. At 23.
Bank capacity, like 23 million.
So here's like side by side, his original, which was nothing. He had nothing there. I put that number in there. But I must have estimated, or the number I had for 2020, this right here was way, I don't know, I didn't.
But I thought his property taxes,
Oh, wait.
instead of 21,2, we were like 23 or.
Oh, his is missing interest. This is what's missing, look.
$23,900.
Yeah, that's.
Or 23 minus the tip, so it's 23,558,000. So the 21,200,000 that he sent earlier should be $23,558. I really can't see from that.
I see what we're missing in what the updated one, we're missing the interest. So I don't know if that's supposed to be on there or what.
Well, I would say everything else is pretty close. I would put it on. Do you want me to call Sarah?
So if I put this back in here.
Yeah, I think we're missing something because we could
And
not
then
drop that.
I'm still less than 539.
What are we missing?
This interest right here is not on the sheet he updated.
So interest and penalties, 300,000, penalty failed to list property, 100,000. Removal, current use removal, interest penalty, 75,000, interest sales, tax district, 95,000.
So 1.7 million in interest related revenue streams.
Okay. Yeah, I have it on this one, so I don't know why I didn't convert over.
If I put that back in, and then, hold on.
With the 23,558.
Where does the 23 come from? What's included in 23?
Property tax.
Well, I'm
plus-
looking at property tax current expense right now.
Well, it was 23,016,000 plus 542,000. I can't remember what the 542 was. I think it's something that needs to be paid to us, minus the 119,000 for the TIF. So it was 23, I think it was a refund. The 542 was a refund, or it was REC. It's a payment that we're supposed to get, that 542. So we should be getting 23,558,000.
And that's based on no levy increase for
That's
assessed?
with, I think that's with the 1%. That's with the 1% that we can take. We have to take our 1% increase.
That would take us back up to, or back down, 9.5 million from
The
reserves.
reserve. So, is there anything in our, do we have any other outside funding that we could use, any different silos to pull into current expense to help pay that down? Can you send that to Daryl, please, just so he can review the revenues and just get a second set of eyes on that?
Okay, Tom, so here's a good opportunity. So next year, what I would like to see in this type of circumstance would be, we have this assessor's info that Barb sent us Friday with these numbers that keep being talked about. It'd be nice to have like these numbers presented exactly how they're meant and then show what they equal and how they play into this. It would make this much easier than bouncing back and forth and everybody guessing.
Yeah, we have to try and get those numbers earlier as well.
Well, I thought that's,
Or she
those were
walks
the
them in and
numbers.
says what they are.
So did Missy send additional numbers after our meeting?
Yeah, Friday at 1:43 is when we got new construction, preliminary new construction, refund
472
levy,
million?
and then highest lawful levy. And the numbers that you're saying and these they're none of them are the same ever, so
A new construction, 472 million?
yes.
Okay. And then she had to
Highest
take out
lawful
the
levy.
TIF. She had to take out 119,000 out of the TIF because she left to go recalculate that. Daryl went upstairs to recalculate. So I have 23,558 and then I have 23,900,000. So I don't know if something else, maybe the 23,558, we added the 396 for the REC. I didn't make my notes. So it's either, the lowest would be 23,558, but it could be, we leave it at 23,900. That's the one I have circled, so I'm assuming that would have been the final. But you're right. We're going off of, he said, she said. We shoot a couple of quick emails to Missy and Daryl.
Our office got that certification of new construction at the end of October. We definitely did not realize that it needed to go to the commissioners also, because we were just hanging on to it until we got the second half of it, because it was a certification for the Board of Equalization. So we
Is that the
did
472 million?
Yeah.
So it's the one that Barb forwarded to you guys last week. But we needed both of them, both certifications of the assessment roles from the assessor's office in order to do anything for 4 week. And so we received the new construction and not the other half, and we just held on to it. But
Were they the correct numbers though? Did they have to update those?
I have not gotten a new certification for new construction.
It didn't change.
Okay.
Yeah, what she certified on October 30th is what the number was.
Okay. We're supposed to be getting the other one sometime this week, last that we heard. We'll be sure to forward that to the commissioners also, so you guys can see it when we get it.
Okay, Amanda, I'm gonna CC you on this, and Tom, if it was 23.5 million or 23.9 million that we were supposed to put as our final amount. So we're supposed to actually be talking about capital?
Yes.
Is the 4.851 million in capital requests all in the budget, included in that amount?
None of it is in the budget unless we've assigned it to law and justice, REIT, or one of those funding sources.
So it's not just automatically built in?
No. There's a couple of things. Assessors, their vehicles, coroners, vehicles, that is not gonna come out of this year's current, 2026 current expense. Those have already been budgeted as part of the 2025 fund balance. But there's not a lot of things like that. It's not like those two things that are what I can think of. Maybe there might be some carryover from a few of actual projects in facilities or central services, but I don't know that dollar amount. Do you have like an estimate of maybe how much of?
On what we're doing total for capital next year?
Well, no, but what might come from carryover from this year?
From this year, we are mostly retainage. I'd have to go back and look at Kevin's budget sheet. I don't know if you can pull it up for facilities.
I can, yes.
Because he had retainage carryover on his budget sheet.
Okay, so law and justice, so if we take some of the, like district court, district court furniture, superior court, recover benches. That is, no, because that's courtroom.
Yeah.
Improvement.
But the carryover funds we were carrying over were going to reduce the capital.
Did we carry
request
those
this
over
year.
though?
It would, yes.
Yeah, so,
And those are in a carryover, not so much as reserve.
I want to say, yeah, it was carryover from.
Well, I would like carryover separate than reserve, because I think we need to treat it differently. If we have
Well, I would have to take it out of reserve manually
Okay,
because it's
so
in
what
the
do you
fund
think?
balance.
Okay.
So I would have to either,
So if we are carrying over $1 million from this budget, it just makes it a little easier. Instead of going down to maybe $3 million for carryover, we can go to $4 million for carryover. I just don't recall what those numbers were.
I'm trying to get that number for you.
Well, somebody put it in grant, so it was kind of a neutral. And a grant.
so yeah, we marked group ones that we won't be requesting capital money for because they have grant money for them. And instead of just deleting it, left it in here with Mark annotating it as grants.
Okay, so the fair, they had some porticools. They're not in a highlight number. Does that mean it didn't get added in? 35,000 for porticool, 10,500 for rebuild Black Widow, 6 radios, 2 gators, 7,500. Did those get approved? Or they just,
For fairgrounds?
yeah. They're not. I'll highlight where I'm at so you can see where I'm talking about.
So the things from fairgrounds that haven't technically been allocated to anything are.
Daryl's 23.9 million for revenue. Okay, he was 23.9 for revenue.
Before mental health and veterans?
Yep.
Okay. Or after?
It did not include the behavior health and veterans. It
Okay,
was
so
just
then
earnings.
23.9 would put it up about another 500,000.
Okay. Well, I think that's what he told us before, because when we asked him Friday, he did not include. That assumes you take the 1% new construction and refund levy and any banked. Got it. Thank you, Daryl.
So like things from fairgrounds that haven't been allocated to a funding source. This is wrong, hold on. This
Okay,
is-
so if they're just
Oh,
sitting
wait.
there, then they haven't been, they're not really in the budget then if they haven't
Yes,
been allocated.
yes,
Is that
yes,
what you're
yes,
saying?
yes. The ones that don't have a comment
Okay.
have not been. The 501 would be a special different pot, right? So that's different. So these ones are, right, it's put as current expense because it's technically for, are these for fairgrounds? I think that might be just a spreadsheet issue.
Well, Admetic's rubric is not fairgrounds.
Oops. What? These are just tech services software stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this part of the 3 million in your guys' budget?
Yeah.
So, okay, then yeah, those go
We can
out.
take it out. It's already somewhere else.
So Water Smart grant would be one that we would need to either figure out or have to take out of current expense that we don't have a funding source for.
It's a grant though.
No, this is the matching part. BOR has
Okay.
their half and this would be our half
Okay.
as a local match. And then,
So wait, could we take that out of the 133 account? It's not a capital, but it definitely is a growth.
probably, and then I thought we were,
Well, I'm just trying to, like, we've got to make some significant cuts. So if we
Uh-huh.
can take this out of, it's a growth mechanism, economic enhancement. So if we take it out of, I don't know if we can though.
This is one that we just need to talk to him about. He was willing to pull it all the way out depending on commissioner opinion.
Pull it out of his budget or,
Just remove the study. We just need to talk to him about it, so
I mean, I just
we
think
don't
we need
have
to
time
start
to bring
looking.
him over right now.
okay. Well, we can put that as maybe remove it.
Okay.
Okay. The stuff that the fairgrounds is requesting. I think the orange is like, they absolutely have to have. So the stuff that's not highlighted for fairgrounds is stuff that they could maybe do without. But these are going to REIT. So.
Do we have anything else that can go to your read that would?
So let me remove REIT stuff.
Read has to be pretty much capital stuff. They can't pay employees, they can't. I'm just trying to get into some creative financing here. And Read can do software sometimes. Yeah,
Okay.
let me look, because if we could do that, we could take some of our software. Do we have any new software that we're getting? Let me look. Because sometimes we've been able to and sometimes we can't.
One of you should get an answer. Yeah, see who gets it first.
And not be used to pay for software. But it could pay for servers. Do we have any servers or anything that we can? Planning, acquisition, construction, reconstruction, repair, replacement, or improvement of capital projects like roads, water systems, or public building. Maintenance of these capital facilities under strict conditions, so we can use it to maintain.
Make sure that that's current.
53 degrees.
Some of the reasons,
I don't need to cook.
they didn't change software. Do that, but they did migrate the REIT funds together, so it didn't, there was no distinction any longer between law enforcement facilities and not parks and not. So
Probably.
Okay. There's about 1.4 million in requests that we have not designated a funding source for. That includes 150,000 for the water smart.
So we can use it for design, engineering, surveys, et cetera, associated with a specific qualifying project.
So porticools could be REIT.
What number, Tom?
I'm starting at the top, line number 9. Nope, go up to. Purchase.
Oh, right, oh, okay. So REIT,
Didn't we cut particles?
Yeah, I don't think we funded them.
Stormwater
Well, we
soil.
funded half last year.
That stormwater
I don't
soil,
agree it should be
landscaping,
REIT, though.
replace concrete slab, Wheeler Road windows, age replacement, elevator update, that can all be REIT.
What is it right now?
CE.
Oh, yeah.
sorry, Tom, I need you to repeat the list that you just said.
That's okay, so if you just go to line number 40, 41, 42, all the way down to,
All these?
yeah, that can all be REIT if REIT can absorb it.
Let me see.
Okay, District Court, Moses Lake Furniture, that can be trial court improvement. Same with Superior Court benches.
Oh, we do have that in trial for improvement, Tom, I'm sorry, let me remove those. Those are in trial for
So
improvement
CE
already.
right there.
I know on the left-hand side, I had it as
Oh, I'm
TC, hold
sorry.
on. That's not your fault. So let me remove those. Those are gone now too.
I thought he had said he didn't delete.
The Wheeler Road parking lot paving could be REIT. Concrete replacement between Annex and Law and Justice, that could be REIT. Food booth upgrades, fence additions would be REIT. Brian Miller.
I don't think we agreed to do those.
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying
you're
it
just
could
gonna
be.
put them in REIT and then we'll, okay.
The fence, the blue, that's done, that's last year, that was done.
Remove it.
Which one?
Security infrastructure, the blue to purple gate fence,
Delete it?
yeah, that was done this year before fair.
Okay.
Bleachers.
That's retainage that we need to carry over, so that if we have retainage, that's something we're carrying over,
So this would be covered.
yeah.
Yes, we could
Um,
remove it.
I'll make a note.
And that KCDA retainage, yeah, retainage, Musco lighting retainage, that's retainage. Water lights, horse barns, that's retainage, yep,
Okay, hold on.
and we're carrying that over.
Okay, it just needs to be approved for technicality. We have the money for it already.
But was that, having it in CE, were those total amounts counting against?
No.
Okay. So I'm not doing anything helpful.
Yeah, this actually is, yeah. 'Cause-
Oh, you
Okay.
said it wasn't in, it was in there?
What?
It was counting against for expense?
No, it wasn't in the current expense budget, but it was money that we needed to find money for if we wanted to do it.
Reduce our current expense, okay.
No, it's not bridging the gap, but it's gonna keep us from having to dip into more of a gap.
Okay,
So we're
Tom,
still-
so we could scrap the coordinated water systems plan. We have to keep the water smart grant.
Yeah.
But it could be REIT or economic enhancement probably.
Okay,
Yeah, it could be 133. I would say 133 would help.
okay, can't remove.
So miscellaneous, or, the 133 for the water smart, is that what we're calling it?
But now we're down to 244,000.
Okay, but now that 244,000, you've got that associated to current expense?
It's nothing is funding those.
Okay.
So either we say we're not gonna do them, or we find a funding source to do them.
Okay.
But I think the laserfish one was important.
The laserfish was important.
So laserfish, can we use that for what are we using it for? Is it a historical?
Wasn't.
I think it's a license for, was it building
I don't know, we have a lot of licenses for.
or for a form, right? Cause it's
Oh,
probably going for a form.
14,000 was for the seats and the risk management and the transition of all of the.
All of our forms, all of our forms
all
go
of our
online, but
forms. Yeah,
currently
that
it's
was,
just
that was
one.
important.
Yeah, it sounded like it was.
Couldn't
just
that,
one,
but I
like
mean,
that
isn't
was
that towards an effort of preserving stuff?
No, because you're applying for something, so, I don't know, if we're only on board for one form, I have a hard time spending that much money, but if others, all of our.
No,
forms
this
are
was gonna take care of it. That was the one form to solve them all
Okay.
for everybody.
So they are gonna do,
Yeah,
okay,
and it
so
was
I'm okay
all
with,
employees would access it
but just for one,
that was all the cost of the workflows and the encryption for all the various forms.
like forms countywide, not just for that one, okay. And if we utilize it, I'm okay with it, but if we're just gonna do it 14,000, we can print a piece of paper out and submit it.
So
We gotta
rebuilding.
switch gears, Tom. We have
Yeah.
people waiting outside.
Sorry. Yep.
We can come back to this at 3 if we want to do that.
Yeah.
We'll just take a 2-minute recess and be back at like 12:02 for our next meeting. Good afternoon. It is 12:03 p.m. and we are here for a road improvement district, Road C Northeast conversation. What were you saying, Cindy?
Daryl, what are you requesting that,
Well, I believe if we were gonna try to figure out for the current expense budget especially, well, actually county road definitely, we have a lot of departments that are looking to what is their balances. And the problem is while we have a cash balance that we also had at the, before last week, $4.9 million of unresolved numbers that we don't know how they affect all the different funds, not just current expense. Well, Connie told me that we got a bunch of fixes in, but we still have over 2-point-something million left that hasn't been resolved.
Basically,
so we're asking Mandy to update our current expense.
So to me, I think the time, when we talk about target cash reserves, what's our target and to move forward with, and how much, which affects how much we want to take out of reserves, our current expense. That you may have these same issues with all these other funds, that we gotta have numbers.
So he's saying.
And it's saying their
Cancel
time
this
needs to be
afternoon.
spent doing that.
So the request is to
Cancel this afternoon.
update all of the revenue expense numbers in GP and get the reports like we used to.
Then we should start looking at realistic numbers and start talking like, and that makes sense.
Right.
Right
So
now, we're talking with, nothing, knowing what's coming.
So can we ask Caitlin to send a letter to Mandy and Michelle canceling the budget meeting this afternoon and having them instead update the revenue expense numbers?
Revenue expense,
through September 30th.
well, they have October. October's a big month.
Through October, to date? I think through October, or as soon as she can.
So all expense and revenue updated in GP, published to the intranet. So that everybody has
I'm
access.
good with the request, yeah, but I mean, to say that it'll get done during that time.
Well, at least
you know.
we can,
But yeah, I'm
give her
fine with
time.
that.
Okay.
I think
Can we
every
roll
time we're
into the
down
next
here,
one?
yes, yeah, we need to roll in, Daryl.
We have to be in Moses Lake at 1 o'clock, so we have to
Okay,
get this
okay,
one going.
that's,
Caitlin, you can send that.
thank you for bringing this up.
Mr. Booth, are you going to be beginning this one or?
Well, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the meeting was called for. This was, Barb helped put this together just to bring the parties in the same room. So I don't know if there's questions, if they're.
Well, basically, I was approached at a public event. I already knew Kevin had been talked to about it. if I talk to them, now we have a serial meeting, I can get a fine.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna talk to people and get a fine and have to deal with all that. So I just said, hey, let's just set up a meeting, come and talk to us. I don't know any information about it other than they're wanting to do a road with an RID. We're not really doing anything with that, so.
To
just kind of
our
a-
knowledge, we've never done one of those. We do, it is in our code, but we've never.
It's on your website too.
Right,
Yeah.
but we've never done one, so
But
it's,
our CW, we're required to do it,
Yep.
we have a process. And Daryl, I believe you're the only person in the county who has done one in the past. Okay.
Can I speak to that just for one moment, please? So we didn't come up with this off the website. Okay, so we were set down this road by the then county engineer who set up a process for us to get right-of-ways done. We had our SEPA waived. We've gone quite a bit over a 2-year period of time, set into motion by the then acting county engineer. We would just like that process to be followed. We have followed the process, and we would like everyone else to continue following that process. 2 years is quite a period of time to follow that out. We have quite a few figures that show a number of discrepancies on the numbers that we were given on the build of the road over a period of time. And so in our meeting today, I think what we were hoping to do was present that. Coming from a place of experience in that particular line of work, building roads, and we put quite a few numbers together for you guys to go ahead and take a look at. They're based on your own county website, your own specs for your road, prevailing wage, and all of those things. And so we would like to share that information. I do want to just point out one thing too, is that the final estimate we were given contained gross mathematical errors. And so I really would like a little more attention to detail to be given to our project, as we have spent quite a bit of our own time on this. Some of the challenges faced in the neighborhood are there because certain parcels were given parcel IDs, and it brought the number of trips over on that road, okay? So 3 parcels, okay? So I would be glad to provide that information. I believe we have some maps in here showing the whole neighborhood. There is a landlocked parcel that was given a parcel ID that is currently using our road without an easement. There is 3 properties who were granted easements over that roadway, which is a private road currently at the end of Road C, which is a 1/4 mile road, okay?
Do you have
So,
a parcel so we can pull it up on our maps? And can you announce your name?
I'm sorry, I'm Toby Link, and I'm one of the parcel owners.
We have maps that we can give you that will help you out.
Yeah, we have all the stuff here too. Did you?
If you want to sit at the table, it might be easier for you to sit at the table in your chairs.
I've got,
Juliana, do you want to say it?
I don't know who I give this to.
I would think that would be more helpful.
I've got an
Yeah, if you have a
estimate
better-
here that
well,
was prepared by
maybe.
someone at the county that has numerous errors on it.
Is that the
What's
most
the,
recent?
can I see the
Pardon?
map that you got?
Yeah, I believe so.
Sure, I'll sit right next to you.
Here, Andy, would you like a map?
So, yeah, so this is the.
I mean, I did.
This
Yeah,
is
just
going
hold the
to
chair.
be just, we're gonna go over it as well as we can, but we do have to leave at 12:30.
Yeah.
Try to make it quick. We have everything kind of set out here.
We're 5 minutes into our time. But this is a revised estimate that I did.
To be
And I left up the wage rates, but the hours, this one here at 900 dump truck hours.
Just to be clear, we're not asking for a decision from anybody today. We just want to get the process reined back in, and we'd like a little
Requires
oversight
no
on
bill.
that. That's just to be clear on what it is.
So those
I'm
numbers
actually
came from
asking.
John Brissy and James.
And this is Daryl Pheasant, treasurer. Last time we met on this, based on the dollar amount that was given, which I'm hearing you believe it should have been a lot less.
$878,000 for 4,200 feet of,
I don't know, okay, based on the numbers that we were given, financing it would have been not possible.
Certainly, of course.
Yeah, and so that was the problem with that dollar number, is the financing of 7 parcels.
We're contesting the dollar number.
but it's not just 7 parcels. That was just 7 parcels that we're adding. That's not even counting all the other people down that road.
So.
Our division, our development is 7 parcels,
Just in the interest of time.
8 with the
This is a
existing.
landlocked
So you have
parcel down
7
here. Okay, this is a landlocked
Yeah,
parcel.
we've got just
This
shy.
is 6 acre, no, not this one. This one has an easement in perpetuity that's given by the county over my property. This was given, yes, this was given the same easement. This is a newer
Be able to market that. and be paying
manufactured home that was
15.
placed there within the last few years, okay?
So
So they were given
everybody
easement
down that
perpetuity over
road
this.
has more than
Then
one
these 2 parcels were
that they could
divided.
divide.
This was one
Got
parcel.
2 acres with
This
one
was divided past the
each.
point that the trips
Got
went over
one
on
with
the road.
18 acres.
Are they, do they have plans to, or they
Yeah,
just
everybody
could?
out there, and the thing is, they're all
Talking about this road.
commented
We're
that.
talking about roads to northeast. The county currently owns the
this is
first
the first
40
time.
miles. Yes, sir. This is the ditch road, okay?
We weren't asking
This
for
is
you
the,
to do
this
anything
is owned by the county, okay? It is a
We just
gravel
want, we wanted
road.
reasonable.
So a portion of that estimate that my husband's gonna place for you
No,
guys
I have
to
not
see
done anything
is
like
that
that.
this road
It
does
is
not
an
need to
estimate.
be graded.
That doesn't mean this is gonna, that's going
However, we have to go sell this to our neighbors
So-
to get them all on board.
You're dealing with this
And
much
we
road.
said we're shipping.
Okay, and so I was told that they came out and
Daryl's
made a
worked
visit to
just
my
like
property. And when they told me that it had been so, they said there were a lot of swales that should be
They
corrected.
could build this road.
That's a straight, flat road. There are some ruts back
Is it
here in
normal
the
to have
back
3
portion
different
because the
discussions
neighbors
going
have
at the same
continued
time?
to
Because
use
we
my
can't
road so much that
address,
they've
I have
created
no
ruts.
idea what's being said.
But, that's an explanation of the neighborhood for you.
We have those.
So,
Yeah, I think we've got 2 conversations going. We're
Yeah.
not
So
really,
let me
so we need
pass-
to grade it into one or
did you
the
get all
other.
did you get the maps?
Yes.
Okay, can I just point out 2 parcels to you on that real quick? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so on the parcel number 161386000, on the upper right-hand corner northeast of the neighborhood.
Right here.
Yes, ma'am, right there. Okay, that is a landlocked parcel that was granted parcel ID without an easement over our road by the county. They are continuing to use it, and I'm not clear what the legalities of that are. I currently own 30 feet east of that road onto that parcel, according to the legal descriptions of both properties. Okay, so we are assuming that we will take over that square footage on our final estimate. This parcel was granted ID. Now, the second parcel was granted a free easement in perpetuity over our road. That was 211240000. Lastly, the 2 southern parcels, which were 312770000, and the one below it, 69000, was one parcel that was granted a short plot after the road was already over in trips. My information that I will cite is the engineer at Columbia Northwest Engineering and also Dave Brennan. So what we're asking to do is we were given the task of putting together a road improvement district by Dave Brennan a little over 2 years ago. And we have had our engineering firm help act as the project manager for that. So what we were asked to do was get a letter of interest, okay? So we started out with what was a very, very well padded estimate that should have allowed for some contingencies and things of that nature. And we got permission from the neighbors. All the neighbors agreed that were affected by the road, except for one parcel who has indicated that they will vote yes when polled. So we brought that We found out that the SEPA was waived. We brought that to the neighborhood. We had our neighborhood meeting, and everything was supposed to go forward. You then had another change in staffing at the planning department. So the person who was handling our project initially was Dave Bren. He left. Zach Washburn took over, then he left. So we've had a lot of dealer changes. However, myself and my husband and the neighbors who have asked us to help put this together, we really feel like we have done our due diligence. And so Ken has estimates. Did you hand out the estimates? I think that you will find, if you were to challenge those estimates with any of the companies that do the work for you, or the bids that you would get for those particular items that are on your county website for the road conditions, I think that you will find it hard pressed to see where that estimate makes sense. And we would like to hand that out.
I would just ask, in that estimate that doesn't make sense, make sure you're thinking about prevailing wage.
That's what I just said actually a little bit ago, is that we did this as a contract because Ken has done lots of contracts for municipalities, so he's familiar with the process.
Yeah, no, I was just pointing.
Yeah, prevailing wage,
A lot of people
for
will bring
sure.
something and they won't think of, we just recently had an example of that and it was like, well, did you put prevailing wage into that? And they said, no.
I have your wage rates from the estimate that you guys provided, and I expanded on those.
Yeah.
Just ask it.
Yeah.
But there's like some serious math errors on this. There's a $60,000 bust on equipment. There's another $40,000 bust on labor on these numbers. I don't know how they came up with it in their formula, but.
Okay, so what is your total?
I have a number here. This number that we got from you guys with all the contingencies, you know, the construction manager, PE, all that stuff. Your guys' number came to $878,000. Okay, the number that I came up with, and without the math bust on that, I came up with, you know, using all your guys' rates and time and everything. The number that I came up with was like 712, 712, based on the numbers that you guys provided for. And the numbers that I came up with were 396,000.
So, and then there's some other things on there.
So what is your total number?
I came up with 396. And mind you, this, I fought the heck out of everything. I checked with 3 contractors that do this regularly. One of them is a Franklin County commissioner, and all 3 of them said this road could be built to your standards, which I provided them with at prevailing wage rates for $250,000, provided that they could use the rock that's in your guys' pit right there on Road 4, the May Valley pit. Because you have a huge stockpile of rock there that was crushed this last winter.
That is used for other things though, so you understand that.
Pardon?
Just because it's there doesn't mean that we can use it for an RID. That's done specifically for specific projects.
Chip seal seasons, things like that is.
Right.
How we
So just
determine
because
where
it's
we
there
put it.
doesn't mean that that's available to be
This
used.
road is going to be dedicated to the county when it's built. So it's going to be your road.
But the thing is, we specifically crush in specific pits for specific projects.
Either way, the other pit, I did figure the rock was for free in there. I used the cost of the rock that was provided in this estimate right here. The Hiawatha pit's 3.5 miles away. I mean, you guys have 900 dump truck hours to haul less than 7,100 ton of rock.
Actually, may I say something?
Yes.
Actually, the reason why we have so many trucks is to remove the rocks on the site.
Have you been there?
I have.
Okay,
Yes.
there is not
What
that,
rocks are you talking about?
the rocks to remove from the site, we're not asking anybody to remove the rocks from the site. That rock can go right on our property, whatever anybody thinks.
There's not,
Okay,
yeah,
Pat,
I don't,
can
I'm
you-
sorry, I don't.
Just so if the base is critical. If you do not have a sound base for the road, anything we do will just be destroyed in less than a year. So the base is critical. And so when you go on your site, it is very uneven. There's a lot of rock. There is nothing flat ready to go about it. And so you have to realize that all of that has to be scraped out and smoothed out to even put a base down. So that's what's taken into account. And most people are not going to be okay with us just dumping it on the side of the road. You're now going to have berms on that entire side. And maybe you're okay, but that cannot be taken into consideration when we're doing this estimate unless you're going to provide us with information up front that says everyone agrees that we are fine with berms.
The number that I came up with, you guys require 4 inches of base course on your road profile, 2 inches of top course at 2 shots of BST. My estimate has 9 inches of base course, 3 inches of top course, and the BST. So
one thing to just take into consideration, the level that we're talking right now is not on the level that the board can make a decision on.
Well, sure, exactly. We're
Right?
just, we're.
So,
we
and I
want you to
understand that.
Discuss this estimate with us because.
Yeah, but one of the things I want just to emphasize, when we do this process, whatever amount it comes out to, okay, if we say the estimate is, this much, and it turns out that it's this much, the county can only do 25% more than that original estimate. So to protect the county, we have to be really careful when we're doing that estimate, that if anything, we're gonna go high. And we understand that it's gonna go high, but that's okay. Because if we estimate here and it costs here, it's the amount that it actually costs is what you actually pay.
Where are you removing the rock from on the side of it? I live there and I'm scratching my head.
That road is so uneven. And
I
it
would
is.
welcome anybody to take a visit to this road.
It has huge ruts. It is not,
has ruts on the
it
last-
has to be completely started from scratch to make a road that will be sustainable.
On the first quarter mile?
Okay, the first quarter mile is already county maintained. The first quarter mile is a gravel road. It is already county maintained.
Correct.
You go after that, okay, it is not county maintained.
2,900 feet.
It is not even a private road right now. There is technically no right of way past that county, end of that county road.
There is a right of way. We own it.
Okay, that is an easement. That is very different from right of way. There is no right of way that has been dedicated to the county that the county has accepted. I know that you have that document that you try to have right of way set aside. The problem with that document is there's a lot of issues with it. And then the other thing that wasn't taken into account is the right of way. Not only do we need the 60-foot right of way, but we must have a right of way at the end of it for a cul-de-sac.
We already understand that. We included that in our
So
estimate.
all of that has to be figured out. That's a huge deal. And that is, and even our estimate did not include right of way cost, right? It's a really big
Catherine,
thing
in
to
your
figure
meeting
out.
with me, we had this all, this is something new you're throwing at me again.
So the easement that you gave us, you had it recorded, I think, 2 days before you met with us. So we immediately gave that to legal and we gave it to a board certified surveyor. And we had them review the document because we are not surveyors, okay?
We have an
We did get a
estimate
survey
from
from
Columbia Northwest
But
Engineering.
this isn't an estimate for that. This was just analyzing the right of way that you dedicated, okay? And the problem is there are a lot of problems with that dedication. It wasn't properly done. And so the right of way, in order for it to be part of this project, the county has to actually accept that document. And so that document needed to have signatures for the board to sign saying we will accept this right of way. And there were a lot of other discrepancies, and we can show you the.
This
and
is a form that
the
was given us
surveyor-
by you guys, like
We don't have a form, we do not have a
This
form
is
for
what,
that.
this is what Dave asked for.
Okay, well, I'm telling you, we do not have a form for that.
It was what he asked for when he had a conversation with
It
my
probably
engineer.
is something different because there is no form for this.
You're misunderstanding
a
what I'm saying.
county-
It's not your form. It was
Right.
what we were asked to get when he spoke to our engineer, what our engineer created for us based on the conversation with
It
Dave.
wasn't proper, it wasn't complete, and it's not going to be accepted. So I understand that your engineer said it was fine, but I'm telling
So
you
if
that we've
all
had
the-
it reviewed and it is not fine.
If all the properties along the question are agreeing to do it and sacrifice their right of way, then what is the problem?
That has to be taken care of. So you've got the surveying, you've got the legal documents, you've got, all of that has to be taken care of. And
We
that,
surveyed the road, we got a legal document that was what Dave asked my engineer for.
so the survey, did that include putting pins in for property
Yes,
corners?
ma'am.
Oh,
Okay.
we've got an estimate there for $17,000.
I can provide you the
I
survey that's already been
understand that,
done,
but
actually.
again, we can't accept just one estimate, right?
So are you asking me for more estimates now?
No, I am not. I am telling you that this has to be figured out, okay?
Who's figuring it out?
So it depends on what you want to do and who you want to do it. Anything, part of the frustration, and I understand your frustration, our estimate is way higher than what you get. I get that. That's the problem when you involve government agencies. If you take just a project versus a federal project, it's 30 to 40% more right off the top.
Why?
Automatically, because that's what it costs. That is a level of.
Can I just, I know I'm actually not on the list, if we can excuse these two, I would be more than happy to stay and kind of get to the bottom of this, so if we could excuse these two.
And I'm just saying that
I
you
will
want to be
stay
careful
and-
what you're using this time for, because that's not,
I will go ahead and stay, if Andy and if you're okay staying through lunch. I believe this is your lunch hour.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
So are we coming back at 3?
No, I believe we canceled the 3 o'clock.
Did you get a response from accountant?
I did not.
Okay, I'm sorry, sometimes we are dictated by the calendar and we have certain things we've got to do, so.
As far as the road build goes, I've built roads, lots of roads, and I'm not talking about little farm roads.
I understand that.
Do you want to keep this live or do you want to?
So what's out there,
I'm only one commissioner, so I
hey,
believe we can take it offline.
you can, if you want to have an engineer go out there, have a materials testing outfit go out there.
Can you hold on for a second, sir?
Hold on.
Can you hold on,
Please
please?
give me a second to announce. Kevin Burgess and myself will be leaving our meeting today to go to Grant County Animal Outreach groundbreaking. We'll be going offline, leaving Commissioner Carter and Interim Administrator Tom Gaines and Public Works for this discussion. Are you guys good with having Caitlin for minutes? All right, thank you.